Weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. So minivans, sedans, JDMs, roll out. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. And with eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, in a few weeks we'll be getting out the new calendars for the new year. Last night the Kings kind of turned the calendar back, if you will. That looked like last season, did it not, with the Kings destroying the Nets 131-118. Whitey Gleason and no Kyle Draper today. Drapes, either he's sick and or he's just can't take any more of the 49er talk. So it could be a little bit of both. I know I saw him last night once the game started and he had a kind of a sore throat, so hopefully he's feeling better and will be back with us soon. In the meantime, Jay Johnson is back with us on the air on Sactown Sports. Jay,
what's going on, sir?
What's going on is you just got back and lived to tell the tale of returning from Disneyland and also Legoland.
Yeah, and throwing California Adventure in there as well. Yeah, tell me about it. Thankfully, well, I won't say thankfully. I have one child. She's a daughter, of course. Pretty sure you and along of a lot of other listeners have heard me talk about my daughter Naya a few times over the last 6-7 years or so since I've been here. And we took her cousin who accompanied her, who's a little older than her, which is good because she's 16 years old. My daughter's 13. So, big cousin came along. Yeah, stories upon stories, as you would imagine, right?
Right. Yeah. Did you particularly enjoy any of the rides or attractions, you personally?
Yeah, personally, I like to get down. I like to put my caboose in the caboose, if that makes sense.
It does.
I like the Guardians of the Galaxy and California Adventure, which used to be Tower of Terror, right?
Okay.
Yep. So love the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then the new Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance, a lot of people talked about it. It has a couple of cool features. So that was all right. Beyond that, man, I'm just a typical, at this point, Whitey, I'm an OG at this, so I just like to prance around a little bit. Yeah, prance around, grab a churro, jump on a turkey leg over this way. As my joke is, I'm chubby for a reason,
Yeah. You go have fun, ride that ride, whatever. I'll be over here.
Yes.
Chilling. Yeah.
Yes. And it's great because she's 13 with big cousin. Now the way of the world, we have technology and all these different things. We have trackers and, all that type of stuff. And so, me and the wife, we enjoyed ourselves. She literally, her and her cousin were gone. We'd check in. Of course, you got to buy the food and all that type of stuff. But now it's like, here goes some change for your pocket. I'll holler at you when I see you. When we walk across each other like, true strangers.
I haven't been there in a while, but I was thinking today, because I knew you just got back from there. I was thinking about the NFL season, and if we could, maybe this is something we'll do throughout the show. We'll see. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. If you have any thoughts on this, I was wondering if we can compare any NFL team seasons so far to Disney rides. And just for example, one of the first ones I thought of is this 49ers season with a lot of twists and turns, and oh no, they're in danger, everything's falling apart, oh, they're okay. Kind of reminds me of the Indiana Jones ride, especially because I have a feeling they're going to end up with the golden idol at the end, the Lombardi. I think that's going to be what the 49ers season is like, is the Indiana Jones, I don't even know what they call it, but the Indiana Jones ride.
I think it was the Golden Eye.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Golden Eye. Man, we got on that thing a little later in the day, and I must say that thing jerked around and had us hopping and moving around, figure eighting like we were in the car or Camaro or something. Yeah, that was rough, Whitey.
The first time I ever went on that ride, we get in there and we're in the back seat, those like Jeeps, whatever they are. There's somebody in front of us, and it wasn't a phone because it was before people were doing everything on their phones. It was like a video camcorder, and they were I was thinking, that's going to be a terrible video because it's dark and they're sliding all over, and they're bobbing back and forth, and they still tried to videotape the whole thing. I don't think that came out.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
How do you think that feature film looks today in 2023?
Yeah, kind of like the Eagles season. How about for the Eagles season, Splash Mountain maybe? Because you're way up high.
No longer Splash Mountain, right?
Oh.
They got rid of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that because
you date yourself there, Whitey?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I haven't been there in a while. Is that because of all the references, seriously, to the Old South and everything?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not the biggest Disney person, but I do know who is. So we'll check in with someone inside the building. She's all about Disney. She's my Disney contact. So I'll ask her. But I do remember. I want to say last year was the last time they had it, but it was not. It is not a ride anymore. You cannot go on Splash Mountain.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know. I used to like Splash Mountain.
Yeah. That's a great ride.
I could have.
They just didn't change the name. They actually don't have it anymore.
No, they didn't have it at all. It's not even on the map anymore. Like they just shut it down for some odd reason. And if I'm not mistaken, I felt there was some kind of reason of it was considered a little dangerous because you kind of get in that little canoe type situation, and all you really had was a belt maybe that went across the strap. Across your lap. I feel like it was for safety reasons, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Yeah. Ward says, among other things, he says they're chaining it. He says they're to the movie The Princess and the Frog. So maybe they're going to
Princess Tiana.
Rebrand it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So kind of like what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, which used to be Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
He does say, and I think that may be true. Ward says the original movie that it was based on, got to a point where people said, you really shouldn't have some of that stuff in a ride in 2023.
Totally understand. Change that Florida State name.
Yes.
That's basically what you're saying.
Time to update some things. But the Kings, like I say last night, it was like the Kings of last year. I don't know, Jay, why can't this team be as offensively potent as they were last night and last year and still play good defense? That's still plan A. Wouldn't that be great if we saw last year's Kings offensively with a little bit more grit defensively?
You know, what's interesting is they are finding ways to win, Whitey. And I think when it's all said and done, it's all about the W, right? I don't think there's any opportunity to let that slip away when it comes to, acknowledging that the Kings got the W. They got the win. And of course, it was an East Coast team was going to come in here only one time. Of course, the defense is something that we've been talking about with this organization since 2005 or so. Brad Miller and Meta, and so I'm not exactly sure. And again, I'm not dating it going back to 2005. It's something that the team consistently is searching for. But as long as they continue to bring home W's while they try to find the defense, I think a lot of Kings fans are happy about the situation.
And I think basketball fans in general, because they're so much fun to watch when they're playing like that last night.
Yeah.
Bombs away.
I mean, who doesn't like 130 points? Would you – let me ask you a question real quick, Whitey. Would you consider the 80s or 90s golden era for NBA in your lifetime, your lifespan?
I probably would, like late 80s, just because of how many not only great players but great teams were playing.
Right.
Yeah. And
kind of you talked about the book that you were reading.
Yeah. Yes. Trying to take my own feelings about these guys or those guys, trying to take my feelings out and trying to look at it somewhat objectively, which may be impossible, but just trying. I come back to that. It's like, wow, you look at all the great teams that played at that time, late 80s. I mean, the Bulls were almost here. The Pistons were here. The Lakers, Celtics. That's pretty close to a golden era, if not the golden era.
I would agree with you. Now, I'm not old enough to have seen the 80s, the late 80s,
sure.
Good, that deep. But I'm an early 90s person, mid 90s, that type of game, even to basically the 90s. I thought the 90s were fantastic. And of course, I'm just speaking into my lifespan. But I ask you that because a lot of those games were very low scoring and considered to what we see today when it comes to points. If you consider that the golden era, I ask you, would you prefer to watch Kings, Warriors, Phoenix Suns of today versus golden era Celtics, Bulls, Bad Boy Pistons, the Lake Show? I don't even know why I brought them up. But yeah, would you prefer, knowing that's your golden era, would you prefer to watch that style of basketball with today's athletes or today's style with today's athletes?
Well, first of all, and I think we're on the same page here. I mean, I have no complaints about where the game is, where it's headed. It's fantastic. It's incredible. Guys are doing things they've never done. But going back to even the 90s and the 80s and before that, one of the things that I miss is that back then, teams played differently. Now everybody plays pretty much the same way. And I understand it. It's because three's more than two. You go down and shoot a lot of threes. You're probably going to, you have a better chance of beating the other team. So there's more of a homogenous approach to it. Back then you had some teams would run, some teams would, the Pistons they just try to pound you into submission. So I think something is lost there. Again, I get it. The analytics say this is the smartest way to play, but I do miss a time when teams approached it differently and you had more contrasting styles than you have now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's kind of like an ID card. More identities. Everyone's kind of a copycat league, and we understand that. It's kind of like the boy band era. Look, NSYNC hits, then all of a sudden you got 98 Degrees, and you have all these different bands that come behind it. Did you almost
say O-Town?
Yeah, O-Town, brother. I'm well versed in my music there, Whitey.
I know who that is. It's just people don't normally.
Why do you
them.
know that? Is that because
my daughters used to watch that show? Didn't O-Town? They were on some show on Friday nights.
That I have no idea.
They created them for some show. Yeah,
Hanson.
Yeah.
So I'm with you as far as identity. I wish you had. We're going O-Town reference. Now I have to come back with a song. You can. Let's see if you can.
I wouldn't know.
Let's see if you can name that tune coming back.
I'll try, but I don't think I can.
Put a text into your daughters and see if they can help name that tune.
I still
O-Town.
sometimes, I'll be honest with you, okay? Since we, I would never say this on the radio.
Oh, man,
but if we got people over, it's 4th of July or whatever.
You better not.
And I'm in charge of the music.
You better not.
And my daughter's there and some of her friends. I want it that way. Tell me why. We'll bust out some Backstreet Boys, and some Spice Girls, and all the girls that age like, oh yeah,
that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So when you're telling me in the Gleason household, when you're DJing, you're going throwback 98 NSYNCs and all that type of stuff?
Not that much. Occasionally.
Okay.
I tend to lean more towards classic rock.
Okay.
But that era, and I know the styles are totally different, but you had like Hey Ya and stuff.
Sure.
And there was some good stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Wide range of styles. And
now look, I don't mean to go off the wrong path here, but I will say
there's
this.
no path today. We are making our own path.
When it comes to music, we're talking about the golden era. This era right now, currently, the way it's concocted, no way. They got to go back to the drawing board.
Do you think
throwback music?
Is there a golden era, or is it just really depend on what songs you listen to at a certain age? Is everybody going to have their own golden era?
Yeah, music for me is one of those things where I think when you grew up, the time you came to an existence of music, I think is what you're probably going to consider the golden era for you.
Yeah.
But there are some lulls, and one of those are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, music right now is at an all-time low, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All-time low. To the point to me and you can, right now, we can probably put something together, and all we're looking for is a couple. Yeah, come on. Especially if you got those pipes over there you singing.
I also think you could take any era in music and popular music, and just grab one, 70s, and you can look back and all the best stuff and go, oh, it was great. But at the time, most of the songs in any era are terrible. You only remember the good ones. I really believe that.
Ooh.
You go back to the 60s,
okay.
It's classic stuff, but there was also some terrible stuff, but we forget all that now. You only remember the good songs.
Right.
So, wow, they had good stuff then. Yeah, but they had some crap too.
So where's the good stuff right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you tell me.
Do you
not
listen
a big Taylor Swift fan, I guess?
Oh no, please, man, don't get me started. I'll wait for Drapes to come back so me and him have an all-time screaming match about Taylor Swift being overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And you can come for me, Swifties. I have no problem.
Joe says your high school age equals the golden age of music and Saturday Night Live for you. Anybody says, oh, that was the best music, and that was the best Saturday Night Live. It's when you're in high school.
I can respect that.
I think there's actually
respect that.
research that suggests that true. We will confirm that and come right back with that. Also, what a difference a week makes for Harrison Barnes. Jay's in today for Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January. Because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey, she's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Gleason and Jay Johnson today. Jay's filling in for Drapes. Drapes not feeling well. Hopefully he's back soon. He was about second half of yesterday's show, he said. And it was funny because it was the more we talked about the 49ers and the Eagles, the more he was like, oh, I'm not feeling well. But he got through last night, his pre- and post-game duties, of course, for the Kings' victory. And hopefully he'll be back with us very soon. We've been, for some reason, talking about music of the 2000s. Jay, just a quick memory, if I may. You know that American Idiot album by Green Day was huge. And one of my daughters, Janelle, she loved that album. She was learning to play guitar. And so she'd play guitar. We'd play the music, and I would play bass with her, and we'd play in her room. And there was one, there's some lyrics in there that, it's like you don't really want your daughter saying, mind F America. And so when it got to that point, I would say, my truck's American. Instead of mind bleep America, I'd say, my truck's American. That would be how I'd.
You had to clean it up there, brother?
That's right.
That's okay.
She's smarter than that. She knows what it is. Come on, Dad. But
Come on.
I had to give it the effort.
No problem. I understand that. At some point in time, this is a whole nother discussion. At some point in time, you just have to let go and understand that your children, especially in the landscape we have right now, they're going to come across it via television, social network for sure. And that's a whole nother argument as far as how to try to keep your children off social network to a certain extent. Music, of course. Right. And I remember, the exact kind of year when I crossed over and my mother's just like, you know what, forget it. And I remember there were times where it was like, oh, close your eyes, turn your head. You can't listen to this. We have to turn that off. You can't watch that. Those type of things. Boys in the Hood, 92, I believe. I was too young. Couldn't, moms was like, nah. Then Minister Society came out in 93 and she was like, nah. And then maybe like a year later, okay, never mind. You know what? It is what it is. Right. Yeah. And it was teaching a message, albeit not the best visual way to go about it, but there was a message behind it. And so it's interesting because you do have to let go at sooner or later that,
right.
You just can't protect them forever.
And you hope at some point you've imparted the message that, okay, there's a time and a place for that.
Yes.
You got to be really careful.
Yes.
And you can't just throw it around, without caution. But so if you're going to, just so there's a time and a place for that kind of language, and you hope that they absorb that and figure that out on their own.
Definitely. And you could lace my tennis shoes better than I could ever lace yours, dear Whitey, because you have two daughters, correct?
That's right.
And you've raised them already.
Well, they're smarter than me.
Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah. That's the point. The student is always supposed to be better than the sensei, than the master,
That's
right? The teacher.
That's right. I guess that means you did something right.
Absolutely.
Out of the way. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm just wondering here, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but getting back to the Kings, we had some very animated discussions last week, the three of us, with Drapes, about Harrison Barnes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And I don't know. Do you feel in any way, shape, or form the need or the compulsion to say, hey, Harrison Barnes playing well? I want to walk back anything I said last week. I'm not there, but I'm wondering if you are.
No, I'm parallel with you. I think we are in lockstep, hand in hand, arm in arm, like we're walking down the aisle. With a little music behind us as we hit the altar. Yeah, I'm with you. This is what I expect. And I might have high expectations compared to Drapes. I know Drapes has different expectations. I know some of the coaching staff that I've spoken to over there have different expectations of HB. And quite honestly, man, frankly, and I'm a big proponent of this, Whitey. I say this all the time, and I make sure I remind folks all the time. I never talk about people's personal lives.
Oh, right.
Sports, people that we have an opportunity to, say some negative things, positive things. I never talk about people's personal lives. Never. But when it comes to your play, it's my job, isn't it? It's your job, isn't it?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the listeners have an opportunity to do the same thing. And we heard it all last week, especially a couple of days about, how much he gets paid and what they expect and expectations from him. I'm in the same boat. I expect HB to be who he is off the court and to produce on the court, especially not this year. And I'm taking a step back. I'm going in the time machine. The last contract or so that he's had, his production has not always equaled what he is getting paid. I'm not counting the man's pockets.
Right.
I'm just saying when you look and I made sure to say parallel, lockstep, congruent, me and you, his money doesn't match his production. And so,
not that we begrudge him however much money he gets.
HB's a solid cat.
Yeah.
Respect him for what he does in the community, for not being here in Sacramento, to come here and do the things that he does. We should promote that more, quite frankly,
right,
off the court.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't get paid to do that all the time.
I made the comparison last week, and I think it sounds really more insulting than I mean it to be, but I really think in a lot of ways Harrison Barnes is kind of the Jimmy G of the Kings. Jimmy G did a really good job for the 49ers, but you knew that he was there until they could find someone better. He almost won a Super Bowl, but you knew that they were still, ultimately, Kyle Shanahan was like, think we can do better. Not that he was bad, but they wanted to do better, and I think that's where they are right now with Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes does some nice things for you. He had 14 points last night. He took 7 shots, made 5 of them. He helps you. He played good defense, but I still think when you look at the starting 5, when you look at, wow, is there any place you could upgrade, that's probably the place you would look, and that's not to take a shot at Harrison Barnes. I think that's just the reality of this lineup and this team right now.
Yeah, well, we're all looking to get better, and unfortunately, you have to point out some of the negatives to get better. And that's the hardest thing in life, right? Who wants to hear I'm not doing the best? Who wants to hear that I'm not, grasping my goal every single day, that I'm trying, but I haven't made it there. That's the hardest thing to ever look yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So my thing with that is we don't know what HB feels. Maybe he expects to have, a little more from himself. Now, Drapes has a little more opportunity than me and you because he's on the planes flying the friendly skies with HB.
Right.
He's walking the talk shoulder to shoulder at the hotels with HB. But I will say this, I think HB is the type of cat that would say, you know what? Some of the things that I probably could bring to the table a little more, I should be doing. Why would you expect more from yourself? Like, I think that's the tough part. And I didn't jump on it with Drapes because you were handling it and everybody else was handling it. But I think that's one of the things is, and that's maybe the next, conversation that the next piece within this conversation is, how does HB feel? And of course, we would try to get HB on for you guys to hear what HB says. But the other part for me, and this is, I'm not so much as hung up on HB, and I'm glad you said this team could get better in a few different spots. For me, man, it's at the 2 guard.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the Kings lack a shooting guard that can just be electric. And I think the tough part about it is this. It's the Jamal Crawford argument. It's the Lou Williams argument. And that's what we continue to hear about Malik Whitey is he is electric off the bench. But, man, if you knew you were getting 20 points from Malik, which I believe on this team, he would be a 20-point scorer. He would average 20 a night if he started because he would get not even the 25, 26 minutes. He would get the 34, 35 minutes.
But he's so valuable coming off the bench as the backup point guard because, you need other people that can run point. And and he's a little smallish. See, I would love them to get a guy like Caruso as a backup.
Okay.
Because he's big and rangy and he can defend, and he's a pretty good shooter too. I understand what you're saying about Malik, and I know when I was on with Chris for weeks, Chris was saying, Malik's going to be starting. And we all know he could. He could start on a lot of teams. But I see why with this team, Mike Brown feels like he's a better fit off the bench, giving him that energy off the bench and also being a backup point guard. Herter, by the way, and I didn't know this, Kyle mentioned this yesterday, the day before. I think it was yesterday. Herter's got a little bit of a finger issue. So the last couple of games, he's been struggling a little bit with his shot. Maybe that's why. Real quick on HB here on the chat here, Sac chat. This sums it up. 2 different views. Beamley says, HB, dude is a solid professional and Iron Man. And then Scooter916 says, if HB puts together a few of these games, I'll probably give him the okay. Maybe I'll change my mind, but until he does it consistently, I need more. And I remember last week being in here with the High Flyer, and we were talking about HB, and he was saying, you can't do that where some games you're really good and then you disappear.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big issue a lot of people have.
Anthony Davis is the guy.
Yeah.
How many times he's the poster boy of that?
Yeah,
How many times and Zion's kind of starting to get to that point where, he's coming up, he'll put up 36, then as we seen in the in-season tournament IST semis, he had 10 against the Lakers. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that's the point. It's consistency. Let me tell this story real quick, Whitey. One thing about when you get higher in sports, meaning as you move up, you start, your little league, your Pop Warner, whatever you want to say, your youth leagues, then you move to your high school, and then you get to college if you go that route. Or in baseball, you can go straight to the pros or minor leagues. One of the things that a coach told me, and I heard this my first time in high school, and then it moved on as each level I moved up.
For those who don't know, by the way, Jay was a college baseball player, really good baseball.
And so after it was, thank you, by the way, after that, it became consistency. If I can pencil you in for a 1 for 3 every single day, no errors, a stolen base or whatever we want to call it, I can pencil you in for 6 strikeouts. If I can pencil you in for 14.5 points and 6 rebounds and 4 assists, I know what I'm getting from you. I know I can count on you for that. And if you go above most of the, here and there, that's even great. If you slip once or twice, okay, no problem, because we're going to have other nights where other guys perform outside of their numbers. But if you're all over the place, as we talked about, Indiana Jones and the Golden Eye ride to take it back to Disneyland, right?
Yeah, coaches know
it's
what
a problem.
To expect. Yeah.
And that's the point, and I can't talk to Drapes about it, but that's the big deal. We can't pencil them in for nothing. I don't know what's going on, Whitey.
By the way, yeah, Jay was an outstanding baseball player, way better baseball player than I could ever have been.
Well, we don't know that.
But
we don't know that.
If we play wiffle ball in the garage, which we're planning to do, I will strike him out.
That a boy?
I will strike him out repeatedly. He might get a foul ball. I don't know. We'll see.
Boy, you got cut on that wiffle ball, little cut fastball or something.
You gotta grind it.
Oh, that's legal. Boy. Okay,
that's legal in wiffle ball. Yeah, you gotta get that shine off of that, and then that thing will dance. I'll talk a lot about it. I don't know if we'll ever actually do it, but I'd love to see it.
We will get it in.
Yeah. I think I got a hole. I saw a hole in your swing, and you said, no, people pitch me there all the time, and that doesn't work. So that's a story for another day. When we come back, how about this inconsistency of some of the Kings bench players? Does Coach Brown need to come up with a solid rotation, a fixed rotation, or does he need to mix and match depending on the opponents? That's next year. As we continue, Jay's in for Drapes today. It's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Pretty nice Tuesday ahead with mostly sunny skies. North winds about 5 to 10 this afternoon and highs reaching the lower 60s. Expect overnight lows mid-30s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Mercedes-Benz of Stockton warmly suggests that you add a Mercedes to your holiday shopping list this year. With finance rates as low as 4.99% APR or 72 months on sedans, SUVs, and all-electric Mercedes cars, it's a great time to visit Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, where we make buying your Mercedes a special event you'll never forget. mbofstockton.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
No Kyle Draper today, a little under the weather. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow. In for Kyle today. Well, Jay's always here, but Jay is just going to be talking on Mike a little bit more than he normally does. And thank you for being with us. Jay, we were just talking a little bit about the Kings rotation and the bench. And you mentioned during our discussion about Harrison Barnes, you mentioned Zion. And I wanted to back up to that because some really interesting things going on with Zion. Zion last week and even this week, he has been just facing some withering criticism from people like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith. And last night, after his Pelicans beat the Timberwolves, he addressed some of that. Zion said, if it comes from a place where they just want to see me do better, thank you. But if it comes from anywhere else, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I can't control that. He said, it's been like that since I was 16 years old, since I came into the scene. If I want to be one of the best players in the league, if we don't win in a big moment or if something bad happens, that's to be expected. You had Shaq basically saying that he was slow and not rebounding. And Shaq said, he reminds me of me. So, I mean, that's kind of cool in a way that Shaq's saying, I don't want him making the same mistakes I made. But then you had Stephen A. just going off and saying, Zion Williamson, he went to the free throw line. I saw a belly, like he took a deep breath. His belly bounced. It's bad enough getting your behind kicked when you show up at the game like you just ate a buffet. It's getting kind of personal there from Stephen A. Just saying, this guy's a fat slob. And I don't really know if that's helping anybody.
Yeah, I actually saw the Stephen A. I was in the hotel watching it and like, man, he's kind of getting after him a little bit. But I thought his tone and the way he was pronouncing, what was going on and how he was in Vegas and saw Zion play, in the semifinals against the Lakers, that he felt for him and that he needed to, step up his physical condition.
So he kind of has Zion's best interest at heart, you felt like. He's just saying, he's better than this. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, exactly. And I thought Shannon Sharp kind of said the same thing. And because Stephen A. gets paid to throw zingers at people, Whitey, right?
Yep.
And he talked about going to the free throw line, as you said, and he saw a belly jiggle and move when he shot the free throw. And he talked about a chef saying that he knows chefs, and the word is in New Orleans that, chefs want to meet Zion because he never turns down a meal and, he'll pay for good food. And then, Shannon kind of came in as an uncle authority and a former athlete saying, listen, you have an opportunity to make quite a bit of money and change your family's, trajectory. Get yourself in shape, take it a little more serious, and he kind of put himself in there with comparison type situation. Stephen A. was throwing a few zingers, but I do think Stephen was coming from a positive standpoint. He was just cracking jokes, and trying to get the rise because that's what he gets paid for. He gets paid a whole heck of a lot of money to throw zingers. I will say this. staying in shape, as we all know, is one of the hardest things to do if it's not in your chemical makeup. There are some people who bounce up. I have friends who bounce up right now and go to the gym 4 times a day. I have a friend who is so intertwined into the gym that he tore his ACL for working out too much.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who it's in their, it's in their pH balance. Whitey, it happens.
You can get a little obsessed with it, and that's not necessarily healthy either.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a balance.
But I understand what you're saying about Stephen A. And I did not hear it, as you say, you heard it when it was first on. But when he says, he showed up at the game looking like he just ate a buffet, not something from the buffet. I said the buffet, like you ate the damn table. He's fat. I mean, it's just a fat joke. It's like, that's going a little too far.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a kind of
that's a lot. It's personal. It's what we're talking about, personal.
Yeah.
But you better believe when Zion or his representation, what I believe is his father, his manager, his stepfather, when they see him, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a little something to say. Now, Stephen A. prides himself on not turning something down, a conversation, an argument, and having somebody.
Sure.
But a lot of that smoke too, because I've seen cats come at it and he hits the Roger Rabbit. Mm-hmm. He goes backwards a little bit too. Right? And so, listen, I hope for that young man's future, family, for him, anyone that's around him. Unfortunately, people have attached themselves to him, good and bad. They're hanging in the balance of what Zion does in the future, but he has an opportunity to, change his family's trajectory. And not only for his generations under him, because I know he just had a child as well.
Well, he's probably done that already, right? It's just that he can continue to do that at an even higher trajectory.
Look, there's a difference between being rich and wealthy.
Sure.
He has an opportunity to be wealthy. Zion is that type of person where he can, he's got the shoe deal, he's got the money, he's got people will attach to Zion because he's just electric when he plays well. We've been seeing him since high school. He has a chance, honestly, with so much money to become wealthy. If you're not in shape and you don't put yourself in the best position to do that, then it's like anything else. You're going to lose probably before you win.
Yeah. But, not everybody's wired that way. And there are some people,
maybe
you just mentioned the people that that go to the gym all the time.
Are you that type of guy? Why do you hit the gym 4 times a day? You pulling that sled, brother?
No.
You working that neck?
No. But, you draft these guys and they like their sports. They like the lifestyle. And not all of them are that driven. And we like as fans go, well, I would be. But not every, this is a guy that is an incredible talent. And he gets a ton of money and he enjoys himself. And it's got to be hard for him to go, well, I like this. The way it is now, I like this. He says it's hard with the money I make not to eat all this food because it's all available to him.
Agree, especially when you don't come from that. It's the toughest situation. When you don't come from money or you don't come from opportunities, when you have those opportunities, sometimes, as we've seen throughout, entire existence of human nature, that some people can't handle it. And look, we're not talking about things that could, food can kill you. Let me correct that, because if you don't handle it in proper moderation, it can kill you depending on who you are physically and your chemical makeup. But I do think he has the opportunity to change the trajectory. He's one of the most electrifying athletes out there, especially in the NBA. If he can drop 30 pounds, like Shannon was saying, he could drop 40. He was 300 to 260. If he can get down to 260, 270, maybe, I'm pretty sure Shaq had a few things to talk about that in comparison.
Right.
Shaq, we all know Shaq was the guy that would come in a little overweight, work his way in for the first month or two and get in shape, and took it seriously to dominate. And I think Zion has a lot of great people around him as far as NBA guys, as I said, Shannon Sharp, people who want to put some positive direction into his life. He's got to really latch on to that if he wants. And if not, look, who am I to sit up here and tell him not to eat, brother?
Yeah.
If he want to dip into the beignets and slide up and down, the French quarters and partake in what he's doing, maybe basketball is not going to be for him long. Maybe he wants to become a chef. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying, if he wants to be top flight athlete, it takes you to being in shape 9 times out of 10.
It is fascinating that it's Shaq and Barkley talking about it, because they did both live it. And as you said, Shaq, especially towards the end of his career, Kobe used to say, man, if he would have been in shape, we would have won more championships.
6'7".
Yeah. And Barkley said Moses Malone told him, you're fat and you're lazy. And, so these are guys speaking. They're not looking down on them. They're more saying, I went through this. I know what this is like.
And Shannon Sharp said that. You know what he said? When he got drafted, the very first person the Pelicans and Zion should have called was Charles Barkley. Because this is something that he's went through and pattern my game. Power, very powerful. Left-handed going to the cup, very powerful, very explosive. Chuck was that in the 80s.
Yep.
He'd dunk on you in a minute.
Well, not me, but.
Well, yeah. Boy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'd be too busy striking you out.
That boy, wiffle ball.
When we come right back, the in-season tournament, if it was such a huge success, why is the league working so hard already to make changes? That's next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations. Woo-hoo-hoo!
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. No Kyle Draper. Jay is helping us out, keeping things rolling here. Somebody on the chat was wondering, hey, if you don't have Jay sitting where Kyle sits, can you put a cardboard cutout of something there? I don't know if I for the YouTube, I put a basketball with a wig on it, but I don't know if that's gonna help us or not, Jay. Otherwise, you got to get a picture of you and stick it there. But yeah, Jay's holding it down today. Double duty today.
Oh, it happens, brother. Look, and I came back one of your favorite artists there.
Yeah.
You and your daughter's favorite artist, Little O-Town. That'll be the one and only time we ever do that here on the Drive Guide, just for everybody.
Yeah, what song was that?
It was called Liquid Dreams.
Yeah.
You got Liquid Dreams, Whitey?
No. I don't.
I saw your mind going somewhere.
Yeah. We'll just leave that there for now. Thanks for being with us today. A lot of conversation on the chat here about Harrison Barnes, and there's a whole different debate going on about Harrison Barnes and how durable he is and how much durability matters. I'll say this. I mean, it matters a lot unless you find somebody that you think is going to help you more. To have a guy that you know he's going to be available, he's going to play every game, and he's going to play good defense. That ain't nothing. That's something that he does give you, and he helps you kind of stabilize things. That's what I'm looking for. Harrison Barnes helps to stabilize this unit right now. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of going back to the premise I talked about, Whitey. If you can pencil someone in for something every single time they walk out, every single time they go on the court, every single day they operate, as a professional, which HB is. The one thing HB has been consistently talked about Zion being criticized for the last few years. He has been criticized for being paid as a number one, sometimes a number two, sometimes a number three, and not producing the actual numbers that people are looking for. Beyond that, and I have no complaints about HB. I'm just putting out there what a lot of we hear for listeners, what we get from texters, YouTubers, people when I'm out in the, amongst the city, people. Even there's been conversations, and I know you get this. You're on the plane and somebody, some way, somehow you wearing a Kings hat or, something like that. Because I'm from Sacramento, man. So just like this past weekend, one day I had my gear on, the next day I had my gear on. I represent Sac. I'm born and raised here. So I represent where I come from. So a lot of times, a lot of people, oh, man, you're from Sacramento, especially now it's the light the beam situation. And so people want to talk about the team. And most of the conversation I always get when it comes to deep dives into it is about where HB can be. Kevin Herter could probably do something. What do you think about De'Aaron Fox? You think we have a chance to be good? You get the same 4 or 5 questions. Right. Well, a week ago, last night, the Kings were knocked out of the play-in, and they were terrible. And a lot of people were really pointing at Harrison Barnes as one of the reasons why they lost. He probably wasn't, but he didn't play well. Since then, they're coming off now 2 feel-good wins in a row, and he played well in both of them, especially last night. So, yeah, I don't think he's a problem. We talked about this last week, Jay. It was clear to me that last year people thought, wow, the Kings are ahead of schedule. Harrison Barnes, he played out his contract. This is a chance to upgrade. And instead, the Kings looked around at the options and felt like he's our best option, bringing him back. And just a lot of fans will always feel like, no, that was the chance. And the Kings felt, and I think they were right, that there really was no upgrade available there. And so he's going to be the guy holding down that spot until and unless they find somebody that they think makes him better.
Well, the one thing about it is, and Drapes has said this quite a bit on this show, and I have to agree with them. We don't know what the organization is doing. We don't know who they reached out to. We don't know who they contacted. We heard Kyle Kuzma a million times. who's to say Kuz wanted to slide this way?
Right.
You know, he's a Michigan guy. He's already been in California. Maybe likes the East Coast, DC, Chocolate City. I don't know. But who's to say he picked up the phone, his agent even entertained with the
That's
Kings?
the thing about a free agent.
Yeah.
He's free to go wherever he wants.
Right. Like,
whether you want him or not.
Exactly. So unless you want to go ahead and peep this, Kings fans, listeners, when we talk about the discrepancy between Harrison Barnes, as most people always say, he doesn't give you the value for what you're paying him for, right? It's like I'm giving him too much money and not getting enough return. If you were going to get Kyle Kuzma, you were probably going to almost double what you were paying HB for.
Yeah, you're not paying HB what you paid him before.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So that's the point. And that's the other part. And this, we haven't talked about this enough on this show. HB coming in at $17 million. It sounds crazy, but that's a decent contract to move if there's an upgrade to be had.
Yeah.
Monty put himself in a perfect situation.
Right.
Hopefully, we're not going to wood here, Whitey, that if something comes available, you know what? All respect due to HB, professional, this is business. He might be on the move anyway.
I think you're exactly right. It's perfect because he's here now and we've got him. But if we have the opportunity to upgrade and we have to move him, we can do that. It's very reasonable with that deal. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see what Will has to say here with the Drive guys. Hey, Will, you're on with Jay and Whitey. What's up?
Styles and Watkins, you know me, man. You know me. Hey, Jay. I'm glad you screen call sometimes because we had good conversations before you get on the line, man. You had good conversation. Look, stop, and then your boy Draper, man, he wanted to fight people, man. You say anything about anybody, man? He want to fight. He want to choke you, man. No, what it was, this is how it all happened, Jay. They went down there. I mean, they went down there in the lake, and the Rockets just spanked the living dog out of them, right? So you think the fans don't supposed to say nothing? The fans ain't saying replace everybody. They saying, how can this happen? I mean, you wasn't even competitive in neither one of those games in Houston, and that's what started it all. And then you lose to New Orleans 3 times, okay? And that's why people were saying they bring up HB because HB will have like 2 points, 2 rebounds. And you're saying, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. How could this happen? I mean, HB got to give us more. Nobody's saying cut HB or get rid of HB. They're saying, man, he got to give us more at that position.
You're right, Will. Thank you for calling. I think you raised a great point. The Kings right now are playing well, and the record is solid, but there's been a few times this year where things look very bleak, and last Tuesday was one of them, and that's why, because expectations were so high that when they were, and it's been a while now, but last Monday they were non-competitive, and that's, I think, I remember even after those Houston games, Drapes and I were talking to the G-Man, Gary Gerald. He's seen it all, and he said, I'm a little concerned. So you can't blame fans for being a little concerned with the way Kings were playing at times this year. Right now, it looks like they got everything pointed in the right direction.
Ebbs and flows, ups and downs, you know.
Yeah, but they weren't just ebbs and flows. They were big ups and, whoa, what happened there? A little alarming.
Peaks and valleys.
Yes.
There you go. Mountains and deserts.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it. I understand. I mean, you know, every single game, there's going to be a different reaction because we get a different outcome. You're looking for runs. You're looking for the Kings to put together 3, 4, 5 wins in a row, you know, and hopefully stop it after 1 or 2 losses. And you don't want to see the 3, 4, 5 losses in a row. And when things happen, especially when you play like Will brought up the Rockets, that's a great point.
It is.
But you know what's so cold about the Rockets, and this was on me for not saying this on air here on the Drive, guys. The Rockets, and I had a discussion with Coach Doug Christie. The Rockets are a bunch of knuckleheads. They don't even know what's going on. They're just young. And Ime has got them cats focused, locked in. Those guys are ultra athletic. And I hate to say stuff like they're athletic.
And they're nasty.
Them dudes will bump with you.
Yeah.
They're throwing elbows. They don't even know what's going on right now. They're still young, and they're just going to play ball. You can see they're just using athleticism, and they're going to the rack. They're trying to dunk on you. You know, those guys, they're going to be a problem in a couple years. You can see they need some refining, and that's what Udoka's doing over that way. But he's brought a different attitude to Houston. And the cats that they've drafted, man, when you talk to people around the league, they don't expect them to be good, but they expect them to be, as you said, nasty, tough, physical, hard to deal with.
You see that in different sports. A coach is there or a manager is there for a while, and after a while, his team really starts to strongly resemble him. But with the Rockets, it started right away.
Right away.
Yeah. So I guess he
and we saw Ime
that.
getting at LeBron. He's like, man, I don't care who you is. I'll slap fire out your mouth.
All right, when we come back here, how close did the Kings come to making all-time three-point history last night? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's the Drive, guys, basking in the afterglow of another feel-good win for the Kings on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports. Discover Roseville's hidden gem, Timbers at the Lodge, nestled in the Timber Creek Golf Course. Savor a culinary journey where every bite tells a story. We serve breakfast 7 days a week with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m., where you can relax on the outdoor patio next to our newly renovated and expanded putting green. Thursdays always feature our $28 prime rib dinner. Reservations encouraged. Learn more at timbersatTheLodge.com. We look forward to welcoming you to Timbers at the Lodge, where exceptional food meets great times. Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or go to elkgrovekia.com. Plus tax, zero customer cash, signing residual of 10,000 per 250 days and 10 per year. Process per mile over 0 security.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s, Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Hey, speaking of the 49ers, you realize they clinched a playoff spot last night by virtue of the Packers losing to the Giants. Yeah, we had 2 Monday night games at the same time last night. Very strange, and what a collapse for the Dolphins. This is the drive, guys, but Kyle Draper's not here today, a little under the weather. So Jay not only running the show, but also keeping us on track and filling in for Kyle, which we appreciate. And last night, Jay, it's funny the things that irritate me when I'm watching basketball. Last night, I'm looking at like third quarter, I'm looking at the shooting numbers for the Kings, and they were 50+% from the floor. And they were over 50% from the three-point line, and they were under 70% from the foul line. And I'm like, how can you be shooting better than 50% from the floor and 50% from the foul line, and you can't make 70% of your free throws? They ended up at 71%, 71.4 from the foul line, didn't shoot many. But bottom line,
Coach Gleason over there. That's Coach Gleason talk.
Yeah, you got to make your free throws. An incredible night, as the Kings said, of course, franchise record, 25 of 45 from the three-point line, and they were all within the flow, and it was fun to watch. And I'm sure it wasn't fun to try to guard for the Nets last night.
Hey, when the Kings are cooking, man, they sizzling. No grease needed.
Yeah.
When they are doing what they need to do, it's beautiful basketball, and they're a team to be reckoned with on the offensive end. As we started this show, defensively, they lack what a lot of people need to be considered a championship team, but that's down the future. That's down the road. I think if they could take the necessary steps within this season, hopefully we'll talk about it when April and May turn around for us.
That's the hope, is that they are going to be better there, and they've had 2 games in a row now where they've held the opponent to under 20 points in a quarter. Because against the Suns, I think the Suns had a 12-point third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And last night in the first quarter, the Nets only had 18. And the Kings came out and built up that early 8-point lead. But just look at this, the shooting from the front court last night, 3-point shooting. Barnes was 3 for 4. Keegan was 4 for 4. Sabonis 1 for 1. And then you had Trey Lyles 5 for 6. Man, I mean, they were crushing it. And yeah, as I said, a franchise record, 25 made threes, and only 18 times in the history of the NBA has anybody made more threes in a game. The record is 29 by the Bucks in 2020. So, I mean, it's not hard to imagine them breaking that record this year.
Oh, no. That record will probably be flipped 5, 6, 7, 8 times coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
The way the NBA is right now, you're pulling 63s a game.
Yeah.
So I could see that record dropping any day.
Mm-hmm.
Kings Kings probably had their toe in the water when it comes to that record as well.
Yep. So the question is here, can the Kings be offensively the team they were last night and still be a really gritty defensive team? I know we've heard guys like, but we've heard Kevin Huerter, Davion Mitchell talking about how it's hard to get out and run when they want us to focus on defense. But I think we're seeing signs that it can happen. I mean, Keegan Murray, when you watch him last night, he works really hard on defense, and he had a great offensive night, 9 of 13, 4-4. And he worked really hard on Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a really good player, had a strong night. And for much of the game, Keegan Murray outplayed him. And that's a great sign for a guy that you're looking to be one of your foundational pieces going forward, coming off a bad back.
Two part of that, I think you're spot on. 2 parts of that, that statement you just said, Whitey, is a few things. The way Keegan goes is probably the way the Kings are going to go when it comes to progressing further in the playoffs, becoming a championship contender. That's first and foremost. He hasn't been healthy. We know he's got a back problem. One thing about a back and a hamstring, those are two places I know that.
One more, I would say.
Okay.
Right
yeah.
Between
the groin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're 100% right on that. I try not to even think about that because it brings pain to my heart.
I know.
ASAP.
For an infielder, it's like, no thanks. Yeah.
Quick hands, brother. But I think we have to look ourselves in the mirror and understand the way Keegan goes a lot is the way this team is going to progress. And we just got to be honest with that. A lot is on Keegan's shoulders. He hasn't been 100% healthy. We got to give him that. But we also expect, again, here we go, expectations, production. What do you produce compared, and he's not getting paid the big money just yet, but he got picked at a high draft pick. So now expectations are on his shoulders a little more when it comes to that. The other part of it too is, and I've heard Kevin Herter, I think you said HB or so, I can't remember who you said, Davion, a couple of guys who said that, man, that's BS. I'm going to call it because we've seen championship teams, Warriors, and again, I know they have Steph Curry. I'm not demeaning that, but there are teams who can put up 120 and play good defense. Mm-hmm. You just haven't got there yet. If you want to tell me it's hard, that's cool. Right. Understandable.
Right.
But if you're telling me that can't be done,
one has nothing to do with the other.
That's I don't care who you are. That's a joke. Mm-hmm. And that's straight up. And I'll look a person in the eye and tell them that. I'm not going to turn around on that. The fact of the matter is you can do both. That's considered greatness. You got to be great. You want to win a championship, Whitey? Go be great.
Yep.
That's what it is. That's what it takes. It's not. So if you want to be, look, there are guys who put in, we talked about Zion. He's probably not going to win a championship in the way he's operating right now because the team relies on him to be a part of that. The Sacramento Kings rely on Kevin Herter to be great. Not good, but great. Go do it, big fella.
Right.
In the words of Kyle Draper, big fella, go do it. Yes. Go do that.
Yeah.
Be great. Grasp that greatness. I'm not saying he can't be. I'm just saying go do it. I'm the type of person, Whitey, straight up, and you see I'll get fired up about this. You're not going to tell me I can't do something. I'm going to go do it. And if I don't, then I'll look myself in the mirror and say, I just couldn't do it, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't get to the mountaintop. But you're not going to say, I'm never going to say I can't do it. Right. I would never say those words.
Right.
Absolutely. So when I heard those things, I'm like, I understand you lost tonight, but that's not part of it. And that's where me, Jay, I start to look at this team and say, I don't know, because greatness doesn't say that. They say we didn't get it done tonight, but we're going to be better tomorrow with this same situation.
What I hear you saying is, I think it's something that anybody that's, played in high school, is true. And when I did some coaching, I used to tell players this, and this was, like middle school, but, basketball. And the thing is, a thing like what we're talking about, it's not complicated. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's
Correct.
simple. You just got to put your mind to it, recognize it, and do it. It's not easy, though. It's not complicated, but it's just a matter of working hard and focusing on what you have to focus on at the moment. You have to focus on it. I think that's where, to a degree, this team is with this. And I think best of all, we are seeing signs that they're making progress.
Absolutely. Why can't you be great on both sides? It's not, as you said, it's not easy. It is hard to go win a championship. Mm-hmm. It is hard to be great. If it was easy to be great, then there'd be a lot of greatness around us.
Right.
I hate the fact when people throw out the word great too many times. You're good. You're okay. You're above average. I see what you're doing, but greatness is different.
Right.
And that's what is required to win a championship. Who's won a championship and wasn't great? Very few people, very few teams, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's this also as an indicator that the Kings are making progress. This is a little wonky, but I think, well, I'll cut to the chase here. When the Warriors won their last championship, 2022, when they beat Boston, Mike Brown, part of the staff, one of the things that Steve Kerr said early in the year, they got off this great start, like 18-3, and people were asking Steve Kerr, what is surprising you the most about this team? And he said, you know what? We're number one in defensive rebounding percentage. Which is when there's defensive rebounds available, the Warriors were getting a higher percentage of those than anybody else. Well, I just checked this morning. The Kings right now are number one in that stat, defensive rebounding percentage. Now, the problem for them is because they don't defend that well, there aren't as many misses. More of them go in.
Opportunity.
But the ones that are missed, they get a higher percentage of them. than anybody else. And, with rebounding, defensive rebounding, a lot of your defensive possessions that are successful, that's how it ends. Is they miss, we get the rebound. That are the turnovers. So if you're getting a high percentage of those, that's a real good indicator that things defensively are headed in the right direction. And forget Pascal Siakam and Zach LaVine. It's all about with this team defense. If they play better defense, they might accomplish some things. If they don't, it's not going to matter who they trade for.
Yeah, agreed. Unless you're going to get a defensive stopper or someone who puts more emphasis on the defender, on playing defense versus offense. And I think that's the argument. And that's why we continue to keep on seeing, the conversation of, well, Harrison Barnes can, or Kevin Huerter or Malik Monk should start, or where's Davion? It's the deficiency of what's going on with the Kings. And so most fans are looking for the answers on that side of the ball. But I think you spot on, Whitey. I really like what you said, big fella. I like, it's not simple. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You just got to go do it sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, and this is the thing, I tell my daughter this all the time. Try and figure it out. Try 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways before you come talk to me. And if you can't do it, then we'll try to do it together.
Right.
Understandable. It's a different metaphor, but I'm also saying this. If the Kings can't do it the way they're, constructed, then it is time to make some moves. It is time to spin on some of these guys who are deficient in what they're looking for. And that's okay. And one thing Kings fans got to understand is that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. And that's the thing with Drapes. That's the conversation I think a lot of people are pushing the Drapes is like, yeah, folks love HB. But if he can't do with some of the things that he's deficient in, then maybe it's time to try to upgrade. There's nothing wrong with that. Beyonce said, let me upgrade you. Come on now. What's wrong with you?
The Kings are not right now. They're not a great team, but they have a trait that all great teams have. We'll tell you what that is when we come right back here. It's a drive, guys. Jay's in for Drapes today. Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Sack Chat, pardon me. Full of love for JJ, who's in for Drapes today. Emmadrock says JJ's takes are always sound. We got here Scooter 916. I love when JJ's on the mic. Enjoy the way he talks too. Yeah, he's just really shy. It's just hard to get on the mic. He's like, right? You're just really. JJ says
quiet as a mouse over here, brother.
Yeah, man, he too legit. JJ was spitting heat, so it's great to have JJ.
I appreciate that,
especially when we have no Kyle Draper because he's a little under the weather. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. I guess second half of the show yesterday, he said, "I'm not feeling too well," and then his throat tightened up on him. But hopefully,
he'll
be back.
He's doing well. I was looking forward to seeing him today to talk about his birds, but
that's probably contributing to his.
Yeah, Lord. I mean, I would feel bad as well. Whitey, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
a few weeks ago when we'd go back and forth on the Eagles, he'd say something and I'd be like, but, and then now it's just, he says, well, they still are tied for the best record. And you just feel like, yeah, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Just feel sorry for him. Because as of right now, and yes, to Jay's point, there's a lot of pizza left in the box. This thing could still go any which way. But as of right now, the Eagles are a stinking wild card team.
Man. That's tough. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
Uh-huh.
You get one of them big horse pills you got to swallow from the doctor. You know that's tough, man. That's
On the other
a tough
hand,
situation.
if things do end up going sideways for the Niners and the Eagles end up, boy, we're going to hear about it. We're going to hear about it. I mentioned something that the Kings have in common with great teams, and I hope no one was offended when I said they're not a great team. I mean, I'm talking about a great team. The Kings are not a great team. They haven't even won anything yet. But one thing they have in common with great teams like, the Spurs with Tim Duncan that won multiple championships and the Warrior teams that won multiple championships. I think you could even include some of those Laker teams, Showtime Lakers. The best players want to be coached. The best players on this team, and G-Man mentioned it yesterday, I think, when we were talking to the G-Man. The best players on this team, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, they're like, yes, they want Mike Brown to coach them hard. And that's one thing that all the great teams have. You have your best players, and I'm like, yeah, that's for the other guys. I don't want to do that. It really limits how far you can go. So that speaks not only, and everyone gives Mike Brown credit as they should, but I'm not sure the players on this team get enough credit for looking at what he had to offer, looking at the situation and saying, yep, I'm going to totally buy into this. Even this guy's asking a lot of me. He's asked me to do things I've never done, but I'm bought in totally to that.
That's greatness.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it puts you on that path.
Absolutely. Someone sees something in you that you may not see, or maybe that you felt internally and it hasn't been able to be brought out, from you. And that's greatness, brother. And one thing about Mike Brown, he's been around it.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around, as you say, the Popoviches, the Warriors and all those type of guys, LeBron James, Kobe, right? Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure he has a great eye on what it needs to, what it's going to take for the Kings defensively, for some of these stars to be, as you said, coachable, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron to take the next steps and being great in their, in their career. And I'm all for it. I think it's fun times and what we're getting to see right now, Whitey. It's almost, and here we go, Sacramento Kings, 2002s and all that type of stuff. That team, it's trending towards a good run here for Sacramento. And if they can get to the precipice of of a championship, we'll see. I know we're speaking, big goals and big terms, but if they can put together, and I'm just going back now to this season, if they can put back-to-back playoff, seasons together, that's a success, brother.
Yeah, I agree. Jay, I think you touch on an absolute key for Kings fans, especially anybody who remembers those teams, 2000, 2002, because last year the Kings came out of nowhere. They make the playoffs first time in 17 years, and a lot of us instantly assume, well, that's it. This year, 50 wins or whatever, compete for a title. And maybe, but if you remember those teams, the J. Will teams initially at C-Web, it took them a while. They had to build. They got into the playoffs and they lost to Utah. Got into the playoffs, they lost to the Lakers. Got into the playoffs the next year, finally won a series against Phoenix, and they still lost to the Lakers. And then it was the next year that probably had their best team and things didn't go their way. But we're talking about a 4 or 5 year arc there.
Yes.
Kings fans now are like, well, let's go. They made the playoffs last year, so come on, let's win a championship.
No, it's probably not going to be that. I mean, look, if they do, then hey, celebrate.
Right. But I'm with you. To me, if they make the playoffs this year, which they should, to me, that's another thing. Like, that's a good season.
Absolutely. You build on it, and expectations, production, what comes with it, then come next season, it's okay. Now we're all looking in the room, and maybe you do upgrade a piece, or maybe the pieces that are in house takes the next steps, which we're seeing with De'Aaron and Domantas and hopefully Keegan and Malik Monk. I don't think, and let me say this, when Malik Monk came to Sacramento, I don't think anybody expected Malik Monk to be, and if they did,
I know I did.
Kudos to you. Shouts out to you, because you called it. I didn't think anyone thought he could be what he is now. He is borderline 6 man of the year. He's in the conversation.
Yes.
With Cole Anthony, probably Tim Hardaway Jr. Those are probably the 3 leading guys.
We got a ways to go still.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he was in the conversation last year. And if you can become that perennial, then now we're talking about being great at what he does as a sixth man. And so that's the goals for the Kings here, is just what you're saying, building on it. I don't expect the Kings to win a championship this year. I didn't expect them to win it coming in, but I did expect them to make it back to the playoffs, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Monk is another key to this thing that we're talking about. If you want to call it culture, which maybe is an overused term, but whatever you want to call it, because Monk, you look at Monk, you know that he could start on a lot of teams. He could start on this team. He's good enough.
Should be.
Does he make an issue of that? Nope.
No.
You know he knows it, and it kind of reminds me of Bobby Jackson, which I mentioned to him on Media Day. But he doesn't make an issue of it. He says, "Hey, if we win, we all win."
Yeah.
So the fact that he is another guy who's willing to look at this and go, this maybe you could say is not an ideal situation for me, but all right, I see. I want to win. I'm going to buy in. Yeah,
I think Malik understands just what you're saying. Not only the role, but what can come down the pot at the end of the rainbow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he sees there's an opportunity at the end of this for something to be great. And he's getting to do it with one of his buddies. He's probably getting to do it with, friends, family around. I see him down at the arena. He's got his family
Can the
around
Kings
quite a
keep
bit.
him next year? He's going to be a free agent.
I think you have to. I think you have to go big. You got to pull out your purse, your pocketbook, and you got to put some coins down. And I should say probably dollar bills, not coins. It's going to take some dollar bills to keep Malik. But I think you absolutely have to, a la Bobby Jackson type situation, because they're building something here. And I'll be honest, De'Aaron Fox is doing what he's supposed to do. And he's far exceeded my expectations than what I thought he would be. But I do believe, and I'm not taking anything away from him, I think the fact that he had Malik come here has created a level of comfort.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't tell me it doesn't have something to do with it.
You can almost see it.
Yes.
You can almost see it on the court when it's happening.
He's a running buddy. He's a mate.
Yeah.
And you know what? Since Malik has come here, De'Aaron's been a little more fiery. Like, he's been a little more fiery. And look, I don't mean to be like this, but sometimes people can give you courage. I didn't see De'Aaron in people's faces 2 years ago.
Right.
Malik came here, and all of a sudden, his chest out a little bit.
Yep.
So I think Malik has definitely helped him in other ways beside, putting the ball in the hoop.
Yesterday, we heard a lot of talk and read a lot of talk about the Kings maybe making a deal, maybe being in on Siakam or Anunoby. And we're going to talk about on the hour with Brendan Nunes about that, where that may go. And we don't know where it may go. But I think bottom line, if the Kings have to give up anything that's of value to them going forward for a player that may not be here next year, if that's what it amounts to, I don't think they make that move.
I agree.
Because then it's like you're putting everything in on this year, and then, now we got to start rebuilding again. And the way they are, to the point we were just making, the fact that they're building something, and it may not be in linear fashion that they get better and better. It would be foolish to go all in on a guy this year that might make you a lot better, but maybe not. I don't think they'll do it.
You go all in when you feel you can win a championship. I think the move will tell us. If they believe they can go get a Pascal for 1 year and maybe take the shot of keeping him, then that lets me know Monty, Mike, the staff down there, Jordy, Coach Christie, all those guys, they believe they can win a championship. If they swing for that. If they go towards a OG or, someone who's a little younger, maybe, a Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, someone who might be able to come back or is on a longer deal, then I think they probably have their eye on the window of the next 2 or 3 years.
Right. And I think there's an etiquette to it too. And I was talking to a writer last night who was nice enough to kind of
Who was that writer?
me on
drop
some
his
of this.
name?
He said, you can't quote me on any of this.
Oh, okay. Don't say his
but
name.
He was very nice, and he was kind of disagreeing with something I had said on the air. But, teams can talk to guys' camps, not just the team, but the players' camp sometimes. And then you get an idea of what the player wants to do, and they can give you an indication. I think John Hollinger even talked about this today in The Athletic. A player can give an indication to teams that, hey, I might be interested in re-signing with you if you do something. So the Kings, it's not like they would be flying blind necessarily. Of
course
and if they were, then they're just, it just makes no sense to do something like that.
Shouts out to that writer for lightweight telling the truth. Let me tell you something, Whitey. Everybody talks to everybody. Yeah. We know that. Man, I don't want to hear all that. No one knows. We haven't had a conversation and all that stuff. Man, it's insiders making a living on talking to people.
Right. Right.
Stop all that. And the fact of the matter is people have been snitching for years. People have been tattletelling for years. We have children's games. We have names and monikers and stuff like that. Everybody talking to everybody. You talking to somebody, believe it.
Speaking of insiders, do any of the Kings trades that we're hearing about, do they make sense? We'll find out from our Kings insider, Brendan Nunes, joins us next year. Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
'Twas the yikes before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, except Larry. See, the stockings weren't hung by the chimney with care, 'cause Larry's wallet was empty with no time to spare. So he went to Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan, got money so fast he rejoiced and went home. Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Go to Jackson Hewitt before it's too late. Get up to $1,000 fast, minus the wait.
Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho-ho-ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Here with Jay in today. Kyle Draper has a day off. Hopefully he's back with us tomorrow. All guests appear courtesy of the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And And we're going to go inside now on the Sacramento Kings because nice enough to join us from SactownSports.com, our Kings insider, the one, the only. Sure, he puts mayo on his hot dog. Doesn't, right? Brendan Nunes, who got mad at me last night because I also had mustard in addition to the mayo. What was that about, Brendan?
Well, Whitey, you've just been vocal about being on my side, and I felt like you switched over, I don't.
I did have mayo on the hot dog.
You did.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't even feel that strongly about this take, but I'm leaning into it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. If last night for the Kings, if that was a statement win for them, what was the statement?
That their offense is still among the league's best, right up there with where Indiana's at this year. They haven't shot the ball very well throughout the course of this season, and I think that's pretty atypical. You could really look at Keegan Murray. Trey Lyles has had a tough start since he's come back from that calf injury. So I think just the shots going down at, obviously a little bit of an unreasonable rate when you're setting a franchise record for made threes, but they create good looks. Coach Brown mentioned post-game that I think they were 30th in catch-and-shoot three-point percentage coming into the game. That wasn't going to last. I don't think they're going to put up 131 every single night, but this team still is the same core that was the best offense of all time last year. And while I do think that teams have them figured out to an extent, they know what's coming, I guess I should say, rather than figured out. The offense is going to be better than what we saw for the majority of this year and probably closer to that game against Brooklyn, even if it's not the full extent.
Now, Brendan, is it just me, or are there signs there that the defense is also improving? I know last night was about the offense and the three-pointers, but for the second game in a row, the Kings held an opponent to fewer than 20 points in a quarter, and they're also number one now. We were just discussing this, Jay and I. They're number one in the league in defensive rebounding percentage. So are there indications that, they're making progress on that side of the ball as well?
I think progress, but still plenty to be made. Like that third quarter in Phoenix obviously was great. We've seen a couple of quarters where they've played really well. I think there was a couple third quarters even against those New Orleans games. So I think you've seen more encouraging moments of progress, but it's still very rare for them to put together 40, even close to 48 minutes of defense for an entire game. So I think there's been progress. I think you've seen a lot of progress from Keegan, from De'Aaron, and some verticality progress from Domantas Sabonis as well. But team-wise, like they're a flawed roster defensively. You look at the 2 to 4, Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, and when Domantas Sabonis is your backline there, like it's just not a recipe for a good defense. So I think that there has been progress, but I would definitely still call it a shortcoming right now.
Was keeping Trey Lyles one of the biggest moves of the offseason that maybe we didn't realize how big it was at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I think Trey's a really important piece to this team. I think he provides a little bit of an edge. Like you could think last year to his little altercation with Brook Lopez, or he had something with Jonas Valanciunas early this year. And obviously sometimes those can go a little bit over the line, but I think Trey does a good job of not starting anything and more so just reacting. And the guys rally around that. And he gives them some positional versatility, which I think this team can lack a little bit, being able to play the 4 or the 5, fully lean into that offense and still totally battle. So I think that Sasha Vezenkov's emergence has probably lessened Trey's role a little bit throughout the course of this season. But, he shared yesterday, like he's still working back into ideal conditioning from having that time off at the beginning of the year with the calf. So I still think we've yet to see the best of Trey, but absolutely, I think that he's an important piece to this team.
Brendan Nunes, our Kings insider with us here, SactownSports.com. Brendan, I'm wondering what you made of the talk yesterday, actually the reporting, I should say, from Shams that the Kings are expected to be in on talks for Anunoby, Siakam. Where do you think that all is right now? Where do you think it ends up?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess that this has probably been the case for at least the course of last season as well. We saw their name come up in some of these conversations. And honestly, it feels like the Kings' name come up in a lot of conversations. I think that they're very aggressive, but patient. They know that another move needs to be made if we're going to talk about this team reaching the level of eventual championship contention. And that's obviously the final goal. I still think you need that third head to the snake. And the way that you get that in a city like Sacramento is going out and trading for it. And obviously, Monty McNair comes from under Daryl Morey, where they're known for going out and trading for stars. And I think that eventually we're going to see that. And I think Pascal Siakam falls into that. I think OG Anunoby is kind of at the bottom of that tier, but somebody that could grow with this group and fits a similar timeline age-wise. So I think it makes sense. And I'd imagine most names that come up that are 3 to 4s and forwards, wings, that the Kings are probably going to at least poke around a little bit.
Jay, is it just me, or would you not like to hear what Brendan has to say about the items behind him?
I was looking. I saw the A's hat that was in the mirror, and I don't mean to be peeping your backstory there, Brendan, but I saw the A's. I'm an A's guy, but I'm in a flux with my A's gear, brother.
Yeah, could you
really
tell us about the relics you have, what they mean? Keep in mind that, for those who are not on YouTube, they will need you to describe what it is that you're showing us here.
Yeah, no problem.
Baby Trunners in the back. Are those like baby Jordan Trunners or something?
Those were my J's from when I was a little baby. So I kept those. My little J's over there. Anybody that can't see, I just moved recently, so I still got to do a lot to my background here. But
nice.
Yeah, I got some jerseys from when I was a little kid. Jason Richardson jerseys from the Warriors.
Yeah.
Old Jason Kidd, New Jersey. T-Mac from the Magic days.
Love T-Mac. T-Mac big time.
And when it comes to the baseball hats, I fully committed recently to I do not care what baseball team hats I wear, except the Dodgers. That's the one I'll refuse to wear.
Good for you.
I just want to be able to buy some cool hats, man. I haven't watched a baseball game in a while, I will admit.
You know what, Brendan and Whitey? I'm kind of going in that role now that the A's are gone.
Yeah.
Or it looks like they're going to be gone, and I'm in my feelings. I'm in my emotions. I can admit that. I'm almost to the point I'm just looking for dope hats now.
Yeah.
And I'm with Brendan. I'm not wearing the Dodgers. I'm not wearing, a Boston Red Sox. I'm not wearing there's 3 or 4 teams I just can't put on.
Yeah.
The Giants, I'm fighting. I'm like,
don't do it. Don't do it. I just brought back, Jay, from Japan. I brought back Oryx Buffaloes and Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks.
Ooh, you got to show me. Take a picture when you get home and let me see it.
I will do.
What's the latest hat you cop there, Brendan?
It's probably just this A's one that's got the.
Okay.
I think Whitey was educating me the other day. I will admit, I got the 74 patch on the side, World Series 74 patch. Yeah, this was from place downtown Doco. So
yeah,
we're working on it. I saw a Rangers hat the other day that tempted me a little bit. Honestly, I'm kind of just leaning into colors and, like Jay said, avoiding.
I'm gonna jump on that Ranger bandwagon, huh? Okay, yeah,
it's a hat.
Yeah. Hey, sure, just a hat. What is one thing the Kings, maybe the one thing you'd say the Kings need to do against the Clippers to end their winning streak? This team that scares me, the Clippers. They kind of give me the creeps.
Yeah, they've been rolling recently. I think that they've gotten to a rhythm with their different guys, obviously extremely talented, but they're a team that kind of slows the game down. And I think the Kings need to maintain their pace and really be the ones that do control the speed of the game. Obviously, the Kings play best when they're running up and down the court. Getting stops is really what catapults all of that in the apex of it. So I think it's about maintaining your pace. Like, we don't know if threes are going to go down at the same rate. Probably going to be a little bit sloppy. The Clippers played a close game that probably shouldn't have been close, considering they were going against the Trailblazers last night, but PG plays, I think, 41 minutes. Kawhi is right around 39.
Yeah.
So these guys have a little bit of miles on them from last night, but obviously the Kings do too. So I think finding a way to maintain your pace and play at your own rhythm rather than conforming to the Clippers a little bit, slowing it down, will be big tonight.
Do you think the Kings at some point this season will break the single game record for most threes, which is 29? They had 26 last night. Will they break the record? They had 25 last night, pardon me. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Come on, Brandon.
You know when the record was set? It's got to be
2020,
years, right? Okay.
It was the Bucks over the Heat.
Yeah. I'm going to go with no because it feels like the safer answer, but I think they have a chance. I think there's probably about 4 teams in the league that have a real chance, and the Kings are definitely one of them.
All right. Brendan Nunes for great Kings coverage. Check him out, SactownSports.com. Thanks, Brendan. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Feel like I really know him now that he kind of took us around his little bedroom there and all little jerseys and stuff he has in there. Thank you, Brendan Nunes. By the way, a number that we haven't talked about, last night the Kings with the win, 25 threes. They also had 38 assists last night. That is a staggering number, which again is an indication that the offense functioning at a high level. Obviously, they scored a lot of points. So, yeah, they were functioning at a high level, but sharing the ball, 38 assists on just 48 makes. So right now that offense is clicking. I don't know, Jay, it's just there's something about the Clippers. They just kind of scare me. I always want to say, they're old. There's not enough basketballs there, but there's something about them. Kawhi, just when he finds it, he is like one of the best players I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's still dangerous. PG-13 he single-handedly carried the Clippers last year in that triple overtime game. And you got Kawhi, they got some tough cookies down there.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, take a look at another incredible Ohtani number. I mean, if you're going to pay $800 to see Ohtani in the Dodgers opener, don't you think you'd at least get to sit down for that? The answer is no. And we've got that coming up here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Kleinen in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. Another chilly night with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be a mostly sunny day with light winds. Look for highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you're thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system, now's the perfect time to take action. It's Bell Brothers' end of the year blowout, and it's happening now. We've got a limited number of high-efficiency furnace, AC, and heat pump systems in our warehouse. And we're offering $2,750 off qualifying systems if you buy between now and the end of the year. No gimmicks, no games, just a great price for buying now. If you got a quote elsewhere, we'd be happy to give you a second opinion. This is one of our best discounts of the year, but you have to hurry. When the systems are gone, the sale is over. Call Bell Brothers for details and get up to $2,750 off any qualifying high-efficiency furnace, AC, or heat pump system. Our number is 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game and high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
So we know that the Giants did not get Shohei Ohtani, who goes to the Dodgers for $70 million a year, $68 million a year deferred. But the Giants have signed somebody today. It's Whitey and Jay in today. Kyle Draper, a little under the weather. Hopefully back tomorrow. The Giants have signed Korean outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee. A 6-year contract worth $113 million. If you're a casual fan, perhaps you say, I have no idea who that is. Jung-Hoo Lee actually is one of the he's pretty sought after outfielder. Center fielder, plays I think he plays left and right. Good contact guy. 2022, he was the MVP in the Korean Baseball League, 349, 421, 575 with 23 home runs. Here's what's interesting. I think, Jay, you'll especially be interested in this. Lee knew that he was going to be coming to the States this year. So last year, he rebuilt his swing. One of his best friends is Ha-Sung Kim, who's on the Padres. And Ha-Sung Kim, who's been in the States for a few years, told him, he said, dude, when I came over to the majors, I could not catch up to the fastball. Could not do it. You're going to have to redo your swing. So he rebuilt his swing last year, and then his numbers turned around about halfway through. But he actually rebuilt his swing in order to get ready to play in the majors this year.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation is one of the best keys to success in life.
Mm-hmm.
So shouts out to Mr. Lee there.
How would you do that, by the way? Just how would you rebuild your swing to make it easier to catch up to the high heat?
Well, two or three different things. It just depends on if his bat was dragging through the zone, if he wasn't catching it out front. I'm not sure. I haven't done my research enough about him to know if he can go the opposite way, in a good deal. And so 2 or 3 things it's all about timing, mechanism, mechanics, right? Opening up your stance a little bit, cheating the situation. So a lot of times when your bat is dragging through the zone, some people teach you to open up a little more, which means you already have a head start. I've given you a half of a second head start because now I don't have to twist my body so much. It's already open as much, So maybe that was something. Hand position is definitely something. Lighter bats, common sense type stuff when it comes to that. The other part of it too is higher elbow, lower elbow, relaxation. That can be something different too. Some people put a lot of stress on the front or back side of your body when you're inside the box. It doesn't have to be that. A lot of times you see so many different things. Some people, you were taught in Little League to have the high elbow. In reality, you don't need a high elbow. It just all depends on where you start compared to where you finish. And so just depends on, where he was trying to go. A lot of players that come from the Orient side, they tend to lunge. You look at Ichiro, you look at Shohei, you look at my guy that plays second base. They used to play for the Mariners. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. They lunge at the ball. If you look at a softball player, a young lady, that hits from the left side, they tend to be slap hitters, not hit for power, not sit back on the back half of your body. And so that's one of the things that a lot of players that come from the Orient, they have to learn is to sit down. Ichiro was one of those guys that I getting back to Ichiro, I'll give you someone who really set back as someone that came from over across the seas was Hideki Matsui. He was one of those guys known as a power hitter. He set back way more than a lot of players that come from Korea and Japan and China, things like that.
By the way, Ichiro is still very popular. There was a lot of ads we saw when we were just over there a couple weeks ago. Ichiro was all over the place.
Man.
And the thing, it's interesting, Ha-Seong Kim, when he first came over, what was that, 3 years ago now, to the Padres, he really struggled. And then the last 2 years, he's been really good.
Ball.
So whatever adjustments he made, they worked. And so we'll see if they work for the newest Giant. Lee, by the way, he's a contact guy, not a lot of power, considered a plus runner and defender. So the Giants have a new outfielder, Korean star, Jung Hoo Lee, 6 years, $113 million. And we'll see if that makes Giants fans feel any better about things. Giants fans are just really unhappy with the state of things right now.
Yeah. Mr. Lee is one of the players as much as I watch baseball and love baseball, I'm not as familiar with. Because,
I just know the name.
I've seen the name a few times. I know he's young, 25 years old, I believe. I don't know enough about him to know the projections, but I do think he's one of those players you have to kind of wait and see. Mm-hmm. And when you get those, you get players that come from Cuba or Venezuela, if you don't get them young, you kind of get them like Cespedes was a little older. You kind like you've seen Ichiro. You pretty much kind of have to plug them in and see if they work. And if not, then, you kind of made a bad deal.
Did the Dodgers make a bad deal? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see. They probably made a pretty good deal, made even sweeter when Ohtani decided to defer so much of the money. How about this? If you're looking for on the secondary market, standing room tickets for opening day at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers actually open next year in Korea, but against the Padres. But when they're back at Dodger Stadium, TickPick has available standing room tickets, opening day, Dodger Stadium, for $638 to $827 a piece, fees included.
Wait. I want you to slow down for me.
Yes, standing room tickets.
You mean to tell me I have to be on my 10 toes?
Mm-hmm. But you get $638 ones all the way up to $827 on StubHub. 2 standing room tickets, top deck behind the actual seats, $889 each.
Not even worth it. Not even worth it.
I know. Just why is it? I
was
there that day.
Cares. Who cares?
The StubHub description says clear view. So
yeah, and how about the traffic to get in and out? The one way in and one way out. You're gonna have to deal with that unless you get the Uber Lyft, and even then you're still dealing with it. Mm-hmm. On top of that, guaranteed the Dodger dog has just went up $8.
Right.
Guaranteed. The little Sunday in the helmet, that's went up $10.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Here's a better deal, Jay. I can get you in for the Angels home opener.
Yep.
For
$22.
$36.
$22. Front seat, third row.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Down the third baseline.
Yeah, StubHub, let's see, Dodgers home opener, including estimated fees. Again, I know we talked about some of these. $431 standing room top deck. And for seats in the dugout club, that's how you roll. Anywhere between $4,024 to, and this is J territory, $9,893 for seats in the dugout.
Are we talking about championship series here? We're talking about opening day.
Ohtani's debut.
A 105 start, probably.
Yeah. Sure.
In the middle of Los Angeles. At the ravine.
Mm-hmm.
Coming down to 110 or the 5.
Traffic might be an issue.
What? Down to 110 or the 5?
Well, the Dodger fans don't get there till the 4th inning anyway, huh?
Oh, that's Laker fans. You forgot. Yeah. Well, maybe all LA fans.
I think it's an LA
There isn't a player on earth that would cause me to pay $9,000 to see at any ball game at any night.
No.
There's not a person.
There's not a player not on earth. I mean, if Babe Ruth came back and they said one game only, it's like $9,000. No, I'm not paying $4,000.
Okay, wait a minute. Now this is a question. There's no one
on this earth or off this earth.
Oh yes,
no. Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe one or two. Jackie Robinson. Maybe for me. maybe Jackie.
I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of him. Yeah.
But
no, not Jackie.
I got you. I understand. Listen, you put your foot down, baby. 9K is big time money.
Yeah.
The other is because he was so special, and there's so many tales about him, and I grew up reading about him. Satchel Paige.
Oh, okay.
Those might be the two. It's like, you know what? Maybe 9K opening day.
Two people have named one guy. Actually, it's one guy. Sorry.
Okay.
Two different chat messages here. Ted Williams.
I mean, that young fella.
Yeah. The other thing, let's be honest. Now, if you're going to see Satchel Paige, he's going to pitch. That's one thing.
Yes.
But if you're going to see Ted Williams or Jackie Robinson, it's baseball. They might walk twice, ground out twice, and you're like, that was great, right? I mean, one game in baseball, you just don't know.
Yeah, but they both play defense. You know, Jackie in the infield, Ted in the outfield. I mean, they both play defense. They are top 5, 10, depending on, and they're each way. Ted Williams, as far as what he put out, he's top 5, top 10 in probably baseball ever. And Jackie, for what he's done, probably top 5, top 10 as far as personable,
Yeah, for humanity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, when we come back.
That's a question. Hold on, White. I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, please.
There's not, okay, let's bring it down a little bit. Let's bring the value before you go to break. Is there anyone opening night? And I can't stand the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers. And I use the word hate.
Sports hate.
Yeah. No, I hate them.
Oh, okay. Real hate.
Real hate.
My bad.
I real hate them. To the point, I've never bought a Jackie Robinson jersey because it has the Dodgers. I just can't bring myself to do it. But, and I know he wasn't in Los Angeles. I get it. Just says Dodgers still. Is there anyone that you, on opening night, let's just say opening night, currently that walks the earth with us, that you would pay $2,500 for? Think about it before you go to break. That might be our question of the day right there.
All right, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hit us up on the chat. Also, when we come back, they're raising another banner in L.A. Speaking of L.A., next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open. Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural minds.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Hold on to your Santa hats because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this: the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com. Qualified applicant, 0 down, example, stock number GK9133, 48 monthly, 0 down, model number C3422, total right, 24 monthly, 439 plus tax, 4495, dual signing, social security, deposit, residual, 33,352, and keep your December 1 this name, GK9143, expires 12.
Elk Grove Kia.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Five guys today. Kevin, Whitey, Gleason, Kyle Draper not feeling well today. Hopefully back tomorrow. Hope he's feeling better. Jay is with me today. He's here every day running things today. He's also helping us keep the show on track. We're celebrating, of course, the Kings' big win last night. 25 threes and 38 assists. And we were just talking about Shohei Ohtani. And by the way, the Giants have signed Korean outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee. Let's see the particulars on that once again. I have it right here. Apologize. It's $113 million over 6 years. But we were talking about the prices for Ohtani on opening day, and Jay asked, is there anybody you would, what was the question? Was there anybody you would pay how much to see?
$2,500. It came down
to
substantially from $9K to $2,500
okay.
that you would go and see opening day, just opening day, someone who is among us, walking the earth.
So I can't say somebody who's no longer around.
Yes.
Probably not. Just a little rich for my blood. I wanted to ask you this variation of the question this way, Jay.
Okay.
Since you've lived in Sacramento, is there ever a football player or a baseball player that you drove to the Bay Area, professional, specifically to watch? And I'm not saying you had to pay, thousands of dollars, but did you ever make that trip like, hey, so-and-so's pitching or so-and-so's playing, I got to go down and see him? Because I can think of 3 people that I did that for.
I would say no, and my caveat is a little different. Is I've been blessed to play sports to take me, in a lot of different places and be able to see some of these guys come through the areas that I have. And then also everyone comes through Los Angeles one way or another, and living in LA for 10, 11 years, I had the opportunity for everybody to come that way as well. The only thing I can think of that pushes it probably this way is boxing. I'm a huge boxing guy. So I love baseball, love boxing. I love sports, but a huge boxing guy. The 2 that I actually went, and one I had to work, was Floyd Mayweather.
Sure.
Just wanted to see Floyd Mayweather in person. I got to actually see him a couple times. And then the second was Roy Jones Jr. I remember asking my mother as a kid to take me to see Roy Jones Jr. And I had an opportunity to see Roy, to say, okay, listen, I've seen Roy Jones fight in person. Those are probably the 2 that I remember off the top of my head. I'm really trying to think if there's anyone. I mean, I'm a Niner.
Yeah. I can think of 3 times that I went down by myself, just when nobody's like, I'm going down to watch this. When Dave Dravecki came back, when he broke his arm, he had cancer, and then he came back.
Yes,
because I'd been a cancer survivor myself, and I drove down to see that. That was 1989, I think.
Attaboy.
And it was funny because that was when, supposedly Pete Rose maybe was betting on the other team, and the lineup he threw out that day, it was a terrible lineup.
You remember it,
It was
huh?
like, wow, Dravecki pitched well today, but of course he did against those guys. So I went down to see that. CC Sabathia, I don't know CC, but he's from Vallejo. When he made his debut, it was either his debut with the Indians or I think it was his debut, and it was in Oakland.
They played A's.
Yeah, and I drove down to see that. And like I said, I'm from Vallejo. I don't know him.
We got to get CC on, man.
Yeah, that would be great.
Good friend of the family.
And I think, really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think Mulder beat him that day, and I think he might have gotten roughed up a little bit. But
Well, I mean, that's one of the best.
Yeah,
Mulder
was
a beast.
Vallejo, man, I gotta go.
You
see
got to
this.
represent. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then there was a guy named Frank Tanana that pitched.
Oh yeah,
and
Frank Tanana, baby.
He was one of my favorites, and I
Really?
broke down to because he had nothing, and he just throw junk and still get by guys.
Yes.
But anyway,
Yes.
those 3 times when I said I'm going down to watch these guys, didn't pay $2,000, but I did make the effort to go down by myself to watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it, but I can't really remember off the top of my head to where, drove to the Bay to see that particular
Might
player.
not have been for a particular player.
Yeah.
Might have been you just wanted to see a game.
Yeah, I would imagine boxing for me is, because you got to, most of the time boxing doesn't come this way to the West Coast unless it goes to Vegas. Now, there have been some fights. There was one this past weekend, Devin Haney, Regis Prograde. I was down in San Francisco, which irked my nerves because I had promised my daughter that I was going down to LA. And we have a big fight, huge fight in our backyard. I got the credentials, all that type of stuff.
First.
Yeah, daughter did. So, but yeah, probably Floyd Mayweather for sure, and Roy Jones. Yeah, those probably my two.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I would have loved to see, and I never had an opportunity, and this was someone that popped in my mind. And he has a docu on Netflix or Prime or something. I think it's on Prime. Barry Sanders, man. To me, Barry Sanders is the best running back to ever play.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to see Jim Brown. I didn't get to see OJ. I didn't get to see some of these guys, Tony Dorsett's and things like that. I was young. But as far as when it comes to the best pure runner,
right,
for me, it's Barry Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all around back, okay, I give you Marshall Faulk and other guys like that. But as far as put the pigskin in his gut, it's Barry Sanders for me.
I remember making an effort to go and actually watch Nolan Ryan, but I wasn't in Sacramento at the time. So I was in the Bay Area. It was like, oh, yeah. And I remember our whole family one time went to watch the Warriors were playing against Bill Walton and the Clippers.
Oh,
we got to go see Bill Walton. And the Kings weren't here yet then.
Sure.
So, yeah. But, the Lakers, meanwhile, celebrating their tournament championship with a banner, Jay. They are going to put up a banner. They are going to put up a banner to celebrate another championship, the in-season tournament banner.
Man, I don't care.
I just think it's funny.
I don't care. I heard this actually in Los Angeles as I was, this was yesterday. Yeah, we had left the park and I had turned to the station. I have a bunch of friends who still on 17 and 570 and all that type of stuff down that way. Fox Sports, National Radio, all that stuff. So I take a listen, and they were talking about it. And the two hosts, I'm not going to call them out. They were talking about how the Lakers are going to provide an area now for this.
Was it Michael?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That they're going to provide an in-season tournament banner area now, and that they're going to start a new space. So once they win more, this will be permanent. This is going to be permanent.
Yeah, I'm sure, if the Kings had won, I'd be excited about it. And some of this is just that, like you say, Laker hatred, but they're going to unveil the banner at their next home game, December 18th. Just don't overdo it. I mean, I understand you won something, and the league would probably be upset if you didn't acknowledge that you won, because the league's still trying to promote this thing. But don't do some big halftime thing. They're also going to honor LeBron and Anthony Davis for being named to the in-season all tournament team.
Man, don't even.
I know I shouldn't laugh.
Come on. No, please laugh. Please laugh. I mean, what's wrong with a little comedy and humor in your life,
It's
there,
LeBron
Mr. Gleason?
freaking James. He's done a lot more significant things. He should say, come on. I've won NBA championships, scoring titles, MVPs.
It means something to them to be the first.
I guess.
They were also talking about that, and they were talking about how LeBron has made statements that there's only going to be the first, and there's only going to be one MVP, the first MVP, and that they should be naming the MVP trophy after LeBron after he retires.
No.
Oh yeah, well, I'm getting the whole LA situation, the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you something, Whitey.
Yeah.
And you can jump on this 916-339-1140 on your text line and on the phone line. If the Kings had won the IST, are you celebrating it? First of all, one, beside the fact like, oh, yeah, they won. I'm talking about like celebrating like it seems the Lakers are. Second part of it, would you want to see a permanent banner for the rest of the entirety of G1C and whatever, comes after that down the road, G12 or G2C, we would call it that, right? That they have this banner and they have now created space within the arena to hang further championships.
I would. And I know it's hypocritical to laugh at the Lakers, but especially if the Kings beat the Lakers to get it, I would. I know that yeah.
Really?
I'm trying to have it both ways here, but that's honestly how I feel. You don't think they should, if the Kings had won, you wouldn't care?
No, I'm out on the IST. I've been out on it all the way. I think they've done it a little differently than I thought they could have done. It should be, and I think you brought this up, just put it in a 2-week span and let it run.
Right.
Like, I can't keep up with all these different games and who's playing there. And look, I'm not saying I can't read no brackets. I got that. I'm college educated. But and it's common sense not to even be like that. It's common sense. The fact of the matter is I can care less because all it is some wins and some losses. And when it's all said and done, after this one, no one's going to care. It'll be only the players will care. Even Drapes is like, where's my bonus? He doesn't even, he's got to care because he works for the team. But the casual fan or, the invested, who cares? Talk to me in June.
Well, yeah, there's a sense to me that the Lakers won kind of just there was a random series of games, and of those random games, they had the best record. How does that mean they won anything, right? There's this random series. These games are part of the tournament. That one's not. And they won, so you're going to play them. It doesn't even feel like a real tournament. Like I said, I know if the Kings had won, especially if they'd beaten the Lakers, that would be worth celebrating. But in a sense, I'm glad the Kings didn't because it is kind of a, really, what did the Lakers win? They didn't really win anything.
Some money.
Right, and good for them.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're not sharing in it.
Nope. The NBA is already trying to figure out ways to make this tournament better. We'll share some of those with you when we come right back. Also, how about Deebo returning kicks? Should the 49ers continue with that plan? That more coming up as we come right back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Save big every day during Lowe's 25 days of deals. Right now, get these can't-miss deals on appliances. Get up to 30% off, plus save up to an extra $750 on select major appliances. And with Lowe's Pay, you can buy now and pay later to get instant payment options for online purchases. Shop these savings because Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid to 12/13. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Subject to credit approval.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Hooray, the Lakers won the in-season tournament. They're going to hang a banner. Jay was just down there and says that, according to LA Sports Talk Radio, they're creating a whole section where they're going to put all their tournament.
According to reports, they've gotten a section that's getting ready to come out, and it's just going to be for ISTs there, Whitey. No championship banners.
I see.
They're creating space.
Yes.
Is what they were saying.
Well, it does speak to how awkward it is for a franchise that's won, 17 championships or whatever. And then
I don't know. I don't keep up.
I know, but they do. And then okay, well, now what do we do with this thing? So, yeah. And what was your question now? We have a lot of people responding. You want to know if, honestly, we would celebrate if the Kings
if it were the Kings.
Uh-huh.
I mean, celebrate to a certain level before we go to the callers is, we won. A little bragging rights, I get that. But the way they were talking, and you see what the Lakers are doing. I mean, AD and LeBron was face-to-face. They about to smooch, and I get it. For the paycheck, understand that. Don't get me wrong, for the people that's involved. And LeBron has said multiple times, there's only going to be the first of MVP and the first winner, and it means a big deal. And I want to add that to my repertoire and my trophy cases and all that type of stuff. Then the hosts down in LA were talking about they should name the award after LeBron James now that he won the first one, and he's so great.
Right.
So the question goes: would you celebrate a Kings IST in season tournament win to the point of a championship, because that's what they're pushing this as?
Yeah, and every time you say IST, and I know you're right, but I feel like, that's something you need some antibiotics for, By the way, the NBA realizes, the players got money, but what do the teams get? How do fans benefit? So one of the things they're talking about now is guaranteeing in the future the winner of the tournament at least the 7th spot in the playoffs, which is just going to make it as complicated as it is. It's like, wait, what? So what if that team ends up 3rd? Then, it could get really complicated, but it's interesting. For as great as this thing supposedly was, they're really trying to figure out how to make it even better. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Brian joined us. Brian, you're on with Jay and Whitey. What's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Uh-huh.
Hey, guys. So actually, I got to go to see my athlete, with traveling a long distance. On July 12th of 2014, July 12th is my mom's birthday, and leading up to it, I heard about it. I said, just kind of jokingly, said, "Hey, Mom, you want to go see Joe Montana on your birthday?" What it basically was is the Legends of Candlestick. They had a flag football game. One team was captained by Joe Montana with a bunch of classic Niners. Roger Craig was there. Steve Young was there. Jeff Garcia was there. The Works. Eddie D was there. And then they had another team that was captained by Dan Marino with just a bunch of random players, not necessarily Dolphins, but random players. And they played one last flag football game at Candlestick. And it was cool because the last drive, it was set up that the Niners were going to go down the drive to try and win. And they actually let Eddie D catch the last touchdown. So that was pretty cool. But I got to do that on my mom's birthday.
Wow, that is awesome. I'd forgotten about that. Thank you, Brian. This sounds
My
stupid.
father, Eddie D.
Yeah. I miss Candlestick.
Oh, I do too.
Drive by there, and that place was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
But the memories, and every time you drive by there, it's like, come on, what Candlestick Park, man? Where is it?
Yeah, I loved it. I have fond memories of going to Giants games and going up the escalators. Just going up the escalators. Like, man, these some tall escalators.
Very
I don't know why.
Huh? Whoa! Yeah.
But yeah, I love the stick. As much as I don't rock with the Giants, I love the stick.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when there was a big 49er game or a Giant postseason game, which was kind of rare, after they closed it in, that place was full.
Yes.
There was no place quite like it.
Very
it wasn't
true.
like that very often.
Very true.
It was freezing cold, but that place rocked like the 89 well, literally, I didn't mean that, but
I did
for the
rock.
playoff games, 87 and the 49er playoff games, that place rocked. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Tin is with us, Sactown Sports. Hello, Tin.
Whitey, Deebo returning kicks, he could be like some of the receivers in the past who are good at the return game, such as Cordero Patterson, right? Percy Harvin.
Well, I know he's good at it, Tin. No question he's good at it, but, there's the injury risk is the only thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. Brandon Ayuk is a reliable, partner with him, but Deebo, it would be fun. I don't know if he's too big of a star player to be. I don't know, man. But do it. Increase his ceiling, increase his chance of, you know.
Well, he's been doing a couple games now. It's just a matter of if they want to keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the more you put your body on the line, the more you go hard, the better the payout. It's always an even trade-off.
All right. Is that it, Tin? All right. Thanks for calling. Yeah. Tin weighing in on it. Yeah. And Deebo has been doing it. That's a tough one. I used to feel like, boy, a guy like that importance, I don't want to take those chances. But now I was like, he's so good at it. He's such a weapon. I'm all in on Deebo this year. Well, this is it. The 49ers got to do it this year. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Travis joins us on Sactown Sports. Hey, Travis, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for the call. I just had my take on the tourney, and I mean, honestly, I think I would celebrate a little bit, mainly because I feel like the NBA did do something when it came to like making the players play at this point in the season. Like, if they tried, they pushed forward, and I feel like it is a reason to celebrate. And honestly, like, I'm a Laker hater as much as the next guy, but I think the fact that they did win, it's going to promote it a lot more. And I'm just glad the NBA is trying to do something to make players play hard and help the little guys out that are on the two-way contracts and stuff. You know, that money's life-changing for them.
Yeah, that's a good point, Travis. Yeah. You're right. And I do think you're right, too. And I think the league obviously knows that. They're so relieved that the Lakers won the thing. If a lesser team or franchise had won the tournament, it'd be like, well.
I was rooting for the Pacers, Whitey.
Yeah, I was too.
I mean, I was Conseco Fieldhouse, or that's not Conseco, but the Fieldhouse up and down, man. I was rocking the Halliburton. Please don't let the Lakers win.
Yeah.
Please.
Although, as we all know, that would have caused problems for the Kings if Halliburton wins, and then,
Get over it.
Yeah, I know, but it's
move on.
It's tiring to hear people nationally just moan on and on about that. And we would have had to deal with more of that. They never talk about, wow, Sabonis had a big game. Pacers traded the wrong center. No one ever talks about that.
True.
I don't know why. TC, Sactown Sports. Hello, TC. How are you?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what can we do for you?
Hey, what's going on? Oh, man, just tapping in, man. The Kings starting themselves. Look, hey, I got to disagree. Jay, look, I got to disagree, man. I like the in-game tournament. It's good for the league. Everybody, it makes everybody, want to ball hard. And honestly, we got to be honest with ourselves as Kings fans. JJ, look, you already know about it. You always saying we got to be honest when it comes to Kings fans. If we would have won that tournament, which we should have won the tournament, like we're not establishing enough team to be overlooking that tournament. Like, oh, that didn't matter. We don't like if we would have won that, we would have wanted the banner to be hung in golden one.
Yeah, TC, when you say it like that, I agree. Yes.
How about
you get me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about the Lakers and all that, but as far as Kings fans, we would have been raising heck. Like, hey, man, raise the banner. We good. Let's go, man. We gonna go to the NBA. Like, you know what I mean? We would have made a big deal out of that, like, as Kings fans. So the in-game tournament, I like it personally.
All right,
that's
thanks.
all I got for my guys.
Thank you, TC. Appreciate that. You're probably right, especially given where the Kings are right now. And last year they broke the drought, and they had the Coach of the Year, and they had the Clutch Player of the Year. And one more thing, like just to kind of mark their ascent.
Yes.
It's like, and they won the first in-season tournament.
Yeah, I mean, TC makes a great point. Let me separate that, and I should have probably did a better job. Thanks to TC for bringing that to the forefront. When it comes to the IST for me, ho hum. Who cares? What TC is saying, though, don't get me wrong. I should have said that. If the Kings won the IST, Sacramento would have fell off. But the roof would have hit the roof would have blew off the G1.
They practically had a parade when they won Summer League.
Come on now. I mean, listen. If the in-season tournament was won by the Sacramento Kings, TC is 110% right. The lines would have been lit up. We would have seen. You know how you see the championship
T-shirts.
game, Super Bowl, exactly. Right after the commercials would have flew in. We probably would have had a couple commercials on the 1140.
Yep.
Go get your 1140 Kings in-season tournament win championship gear.
Yep,
100%.
That's true.
He's spot on.
He is, but I still reserve the right to make fun of the Lakers
Straight
for
up.
celebrating having won it
Who
because they're the
cares?
Lakers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chuck joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hello, Chuck. What can we do for you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
This is a little bit offline. Earlier, I heard y'all talking about boxing being a huge sport.
That's Jay. Jay's the boxing guy. Yeah.
So I'm from Long Beach, killing me with the Dodger Laker hating comments. But anyway, I worked at the Forum as an usher in 72, 73.
Ooh.
And Ali and Norton had their second
Yes.
fight.
Wow.
And it was September of 73. And I was all excited about getting a chance to see it, but I got stuck in a position where I was down in the basement where the adjoining locker rooms were. And the fight went on, and the place went crazy. Ali won on a split decision, 2-1. I happened to be standing in the hallway when they both were exiting their dressing rooms. And back in the day, Ali's hands used to swell up so bad. He couldn't shake hands with Norton, but I heard, literally, I could touch them both on the shoulder that they were that close. I heard Ali tell Norton, "Man, I think you got me."
Wow.
But he got the decision. But it was just, what an awesome sports figure he is. And even just be that close, not see the fight, but
Yeah.
that interaction. It was just a special moment.
Thanks,
And,
Chuck. And I guess that would make up for being in the basement during the whole fight, right, Jay? Or is it still kind of...
Nah, I'd rather seen the fight. Conversation, love it. You know, to see those type of stories, Whitey, and I know you have more because you've been on this earth longer than I have, but to have those conversations like Chuck did, I mean, was prone to be able to see.
Yeah.
Ali versus Ken Norton, and they're having a conversation to watch that fight. Man, that's big time.
Yeah.
That really is big time.
Yeah. It's almost like it's not just sports. It's almost like American history.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is big. It is history.
Mm-hmm.
That's big time, man.
When we come right back here, 49ers made the playoffs, but this famous broadcaster did not. Apparently, he didn't see this coming. And should the 49ers be more worried about Dallas than Philly? Next year, the Drive Guys roll on. Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m.
on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. Another chilly night with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be a mostly sunny day with light winds. Look for highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Sactown
that. Okay, so I'm not trying to say, oh, this story's as good as that, but just hearing famous people discussing things. This is a long time ago in the 70s, I think. They used to have a golf tournament in Napa at the end of the year. The Silverado and all the big names would go there, and I went there with my parents, and we're on a tee box, and Jack Nicklaus and Lee Trevino are getting ready to tee off. And we're close enough where we can hear him talking. And Trevino, who I think was from Texas or had Texas roots, he's talking to Jack Nicklaus, and everybody around could hear. And he's talking to him about this huge guy that was this football player that they say no one can stop this guy, and he's got these big hands. And they were talking about, it turns out they were talking about a guy in college named Earl Campbell. Remember Earl Campbell?
Wow, Earl
so it's
Campbell,
kind of funny,
baby.
yeah, to hear Jack Nicklaus and Lee Trevino talking about Earl Campbell before people knew who Earl Campbell was.
Just let you know, man, these guys are watching, and now we get to see it more now than ever because of social network. You know, these guys see what you're saying and listening. So listeners, fans, whoever you are of those different teams or players, man, reach out. You never know, and hopefully they're good. You know, the guys are good enough, great guys to reach back out or say something or acknowledge you. You know, that goes a long way, man.
We didn't go to many football games, but we went to baseball games all the time. When my dad took me to a football game, he wanted me to see like a great player. And so first time I went to the Oakland Coliseum, he took me to see Johnny Unitas.
Johnny U.
And he wasn't Johnny U anymore, really, but I saw Johnny Unitas.
And that's big.
Yeah.
If you can say you've seen Johnny U in the flesh toss the rock.
Old. That's what that means.
Y.A. Tittle,
huh? yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Chris joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What can we do for you?
I got a question. I know like a lot of people like to go back in time, and I was thinking about it last night with the 49ers. They had a phenomenal team back in the day. How much better do you think this 49er team is over the Montana Rice era?
It's a good question. You know, the biggest thing that comes to my mind, Jay, is the rules are so different now. There's so much even then that you could do that you're just not allowed to do anymore defensively.
Like clothesline a player?
Touch a guy, tackle a guy.
Yeah.
Back then you could actually tackle somebody.
Right, a quarterback.
That was a pretty good team. And also see the other big difference is then you didn't have a freaking salary cap. So the best teams like then the Cowboys and the 49ers, they would go out and they would stock up. And we were just talking about Eddie D. And I know we're going way back here, but Eddie DeBartolo, like he just wanted to win a Super Bowl. The players loved him because he wasn't worried about how much money he was spending. So I don't know. You could make the case. I mean, you had like Dwight Clark and Jerry Rice and Ronnie Lott. I think you could make the case that in some ways that team was better just because you didn't have a salary cap. You didn't have to worry about paying as much money as you wanted for those guys.
Well, the one thing that separates it is you have to win. Win, because I speak it into
you're
existence.
Right. Yeah.
When this team wins a Super Bowl, we'll start to have that conversation.
That's a great point.
But you have to win.
Right.
On paper, it looks fantastic. We're prisoners of the moment. Don't get me wrong. I'm right there marching along with, I believe that was Chris. I'm marching along with Chris as well. I didn't have the opportunity to see the early 80 49ers and even late. I watched it, but what was I really consuming, So for me, my first great 49er teams are, the 92s and 3s and 4s, that type of stuff. But you have to win, Whitey. I think you just got to win first, brother.
Point.
Yeah. You can't be giving up the 3rd and 13s to Tyreek Hill, Richard Sherman, and on the back end, that type of situation. Jakrowski Tartt.
The team that won 5 Super Bowls or the team that has
one? You got to sneak one in.
Right.
Give me one.
Yeah. And just remember way back then when the 49ers had Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yes.
Because you had to have a good backup.
Yes.
Now you literally almost can't do that, or you just, all right, we don't have guys at other positions. We can't afford them.
Got no love for Steve Bono or nothing over there?
Well, he was good.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's a good player.
Just asking.
Once the cap came along, it's like you couldn't really have 2 starting quarterbacks anymore.
Very true. The fact that you had Steve Young and Joe Montana is asinine anyway at this point. That's ridiculous. Riches upon riches.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Just to fill that one more time there, Mr. Gleason.
Yeah. You think
just one more time, bro? You see I'm even rubbing on my own chest.
I did.
Man.
I did. What do you think of when I say that Brock Purdy reminds me of Joe Montana?
I think you're on to something. The only reason why people are gonna say otherwise is because we've seen Joe Montana's career play out. We don't know what Brock Purdy has in store down the future. If we're talking about characteristics.
Yeah, I can say that without saying he's better than Joe Montana.
Yes,
He
I can
reminds me
understand
of Joe
that.
Montana.
Yeah, he's same build. You know, as you go, you always go back to on the show. Jesse Sapolo said same build, kind of same makeup. You know, characteristics are there. Everyone I talk to down there, even though he is there, he is part of the family, of course. He says it, you know, and so I take that not very lightly.
Right.
I think he has some characteristics of it. I truly believe he has something. What that something is, like when I first saw him, I was telling, you know, a bunch of my friends and my brothers, I call them my brothers, we sit down every Sunday and we jump around from each other's house to watch the games. And when I saw him, it's just something about him. And I use something because I don't know what it is yet. He has something. And you can tell he has, you know, there's something to how he plays, how he carries himself. And I mean on the field, you know, I don't care if you got your hat to the back and all that type of stuff, but there's a moxie, you know, that's the word people like to use. He's got something to him.
He has a chance to be a great quarterback.
Yes, very much
You can't say that about everybody.
Right.
Yeah. How about John joining us here, Sactown Sports? Thanks for hanging on, John. What's up?
I was calling because I'm ex-Laker fan and Kings fan.
All right. Bless you.
But the other night when I was watching the game, I saw Malik Monk do an Elgin Baylor move.
Wow.
It was a 360 lay. I wish he would have made it, but it was an Elgin Baylor move. And
we'll have to take your word for it, but that's high praise.
De'Aaron Fox,
Yeah.
you know, being Mr. Clutch, is quite the fan and also very much like Jerry West, Mr. Clutch. Anyway, those are my comments. I'm wondering if you saw the Elgin Baylor move.
I don't recall that. I understand what you're saying. I didn't.
The 360 layup from Malik?
That didn't go.
Yeah.
I didn't think of Elgin, but
you
I
must have
understand
went to you must have went to the refrigerator there, Whitey.
But yeah, I mean the Jerry West thing, that was the award that Malik won, was the Jerry West Award. So last year for being the clutch player.
Or Fox, dear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Say Malik, it's okay.
Yeah, for De'Aaron Fox to win fourth quarter Fox. And he does it every game. I don't know how he does it, where everyone knows it's coming and he gets that same spot every time. I mentioned before we came back here, a great broadcaster is not going to be part of the playoffs this year. Have you heard about this? Apparently he thought that he'd be part of the NBC team. He does, of course, the Thursday nights for Amazon. Al Michaels is not going to be doing any playoff games. And NBC left him off of their postseason roster, if you will. No comment from anybody, but a little bit of a surprise. The great Al Michaels not going to be part of the playoff picture this year. I think.
How does that make you feel there, sir?
It makes me feel like I watch him on Thursday Night Football, and I feel like it's not as important to him as it used to be, and bless him for that. He's had a great career, but if it's not as important to him as it used to be, maybe it's time to bring somebody else in.
Yeah, I'm with all of that. Listen, there is Al Michaels have done more in a lifetime than most of us will ever do, especially in his career.
He's had like 3 different Hall of Fame broadcast careers.
Listen, move over, brother. No worries. Like, and I don't know who they're gonna go with. Maybe Tirico.
Tirico's gonna be on, and then there's a younger team, and I'm sorry I forget the names. They're
For
gonna also be
NBC.
doing- Yeah,
Because who does Tirico and I'm blanking.
Collinsworth.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the Notre Dame coverage they have for NBC as well. Oh man, I'm blanking on
I'll
that.
get the names.
Yeah,
for you.
I'll grab that. But I could see them going that way. I could see them. And, you know, I saw this earlier in the season. Al Michaels, so one of the games, maybe you saw this. He has called an NFL game on every day of the week.
Oh, really?
Yes. And Tuesday and Wednesday, of course, because of the pandemic and something happened. But now, Monday, Thursday, Friday, you know, football's everywhere. And I was like, that's pretty cool. He's the only person to ever do that.
Right.
And that speaks volumes, man.
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to move on. Look,
Super Bowls,
come on,
World Series, Olympics.
Yes.
I mean,
let me ask you something real quick, Whitey. I know we have to break. Are you one of the people who looks at play-by-play guys as an asset to a football game, or you can do without it?
More often than ever now, I turn the sound off
when
I'm watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for a big game, if it's a really good broadcaster, I'll listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same mode. There's a lot of times when I'm watching, the average weekly game is just kind of noise fodder in the background. But I do think there are people who I enjoy, right? And I know, we all have people that we enjoy, but I do think there are still some play-by-play guys and analysts who make a difference when calling a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to kind of get your take on that, because a lot of people are like, oh, man, I could watch it without it, But I do think there are certain people who is like, okay, I enjoy listening to that person. Then there's a bunch of them, people love. And I'm like,
I like Mike Breen on basketball, and I think Tirico's really good.
Tirico's cool, too. I like Tirico.
When we come back, tell you why the NFL will not embrace a simple solution to the officiating crisis. Speaking of broadcasters, Troy Aikman went off last night on the officials. There's a simple fix, so why won't the NFL adopt it? The answer is next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
'Twas the yikes before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, except Larry. See, the stockings weren't hung by the chimney with care, 'cause Larry's wallet was empty, with no time to spare. So he went to Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan, got money so fast, he rejoiced and went home. Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Go to Jackson Hewitt before it's too late. Get up to $1,000 fast, minus the wait.
Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate the participation as always from the smartest listeners and viewers in radio and YouTube. We have this from Derek Riccelli on Broadcasters. I love listening to Romo. So good on play-by-play. Almost calls everything, but definitely like him as a play-by-play. Not when he was a quarterback. LOL. Remember how when he started, he was the greatest thing ever. And now people are like, yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's good. He's all right. I mean, well, you can't be good and all right at the same time. He's good. He's good at what he does. Most player, and you can see Greg Olsen does it quite a bit now. I think a lot of guys are kind of going into the form of calling out plays before it happens. And he's not the only one.
Right.
Other guys could have did it 10 years, 12, 15 years ago. I think they just had a different style. That was his style. He approached it a lot. He did well. Kudos to him. He's not. Look, once you're a cowboy, I got no love for you. There's very, very few cowboys walking this earth that I have love for.
No one forced him to be a cowboy. He did that of his own volition.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Years ago, there was he was a Hall of Fame coach, great coach. He became a broadcaster, Hank Stram. Yeah, he was coach of the Chiefs. They won Super Bowl, and he was coach of the Saints for a while. And I remember he was doing a 49er game, and he started predicting what the play was going to be. And people, I think they were playing Tampa Bay, and people were just, wow, he knows what what they're doing. And he was right. He was right. He was right. Came out later. I guess it hadn't really been made public at the time, but the 49ers, they script their first 25 plays, whatever. And he'd seen the script, so he knew what was coming, but he didn't say that.
That's right.
Like, well, this looks like they're going to go off tackle here. It's like, oh, Hank, come on.
Man, he was just using the information that was provided to him. You can't hate on him near Mr. Gleason. It's just one of those things where I think new day and age, everyone has their own identity, and I really like that. I'm not of the ilk of copycat league when it comes to people. I'd rather you not be boxed in and be your own talent. And so one thing Romo did is he came in and he was himself, and he took, a lot of people love it. Again, it's just kind of against my religion to like anything when it comes out of Dallas when he's rocking the cowboy uniform. And so,
and don't you have some Texas roots or some kind of?
Well, that's where I went to school.
Yeah.
And so, I fought my whole life down there, going against the cowboy land. I was known as the California guy, or people. It got to the point people just call it, "What's up, Sac?" What's up, Cali? That was my nickname, and so. Yeah, man, I don't really rock with anything that if you wear a Cowboys uniform, I don't rock with you.
What do you think of Troy Aikman? I think Troy Aikman is like,
same thing.
He knows what he's doing.
Same thing. And I worked with Troy for a couple of years when he did his radio show.
Good guy?
Great guy.
Yeah.
He treated me with respect.
Good. Well, he went off last night just before halftime of the game between the Packers and the Giants, which, of course, was one of two games they had on at the same time last night. Come on. There was a question about a kickoff. Did it hit a Giants tight end in the leg before it went out of bounds? And it was clear and obvious. I didn't see this, but just reading about it, clear and obvious the ball hit the guy in the leg and then went out of bounds. But the officials, they weren't sure. Hot Flower Henry Turner joining us here. What's up?
Big time right there.
Yeah. So the officials weren't sure, and so, they confer. And if you saw it on TV, you knew what happened. And Troy Aikman just went off. He's like, the problem with all this is just make a call. And he says it takes too long, and it's obvious what happened. The officials ended up taking about 100 seconds, and I guess they got it right. But there's an easy solution to this. And, we just had Patrick Mahomes yesterday Well, 2 days ago,
Crying.
going off, and then he complained today. He said he apologizes.
Crying.
If you had a sky judge, which is, and they have it, but they only use it sometimes. If you had an official who's watching and sees what we sees on TV, like the play last night, he could have said, hey, whoever the officials are, hey, yeah, hit him in the leg, guys, move on. Then we could move on. I don't know why the league doesn't do that. I was looking into it today. They experiment with the eye in the sky. They don't want to commit to it. And apparently it's because the league feels like they want the game officiated in real time. They don't want it officiated after the fact. You know what I mean? So they want, hey, we're going to make mistakes, but that's the way it's got to be. You got to call it as you see it, and they want to limit officiating based on, all right, let's look at the replay, see what already happened. It's too bad because I think it would solve a lot of problems, but the league is just reluctant to go there.
Yeah, the NFL was so ticky-tack and touchy with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I heard your whole spiel, man. None of that even makes sense to me. And the reason why it doesn't is because they're their own worst enemy when it comes to officiating. And the NBA is becoming this too, man. It's almost to the point where, look, there's certain things that we would love for the officials to get right. And that's clear. A lot of times it's like, okay, you can see it. And then they're like, oh, no, it didn't. Now we're getting to the point where what is a catch and all this other stuff.
Right.
It's just become so ticky-tack, man. I'm so confused. And you have guys like Troy Aikman, who's played all his life, who's now is an analyst for pretty much his post-career, and they don't even have the rules. And they get to talk to these guys, Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino and all these guys every day, all day. You know, man, I don't know, Whitey. It's confusing.
And it's unnecessarily confusing to me. It's like there's a real easy way to clear some of this up. As far as Mahomes goes, I don't know about you, but I mean, like you, I think, based on what you just said, I feel like, come on, Patrick Mahomes.
Crying.
But I understand why he was crying. He shouldn't have cried. But he's saying 2 games ago, we have an obvious PI that they don't call, and we lose the game. All right, they don't call it. And then in this game, there's an offsides that they don't always call, that they call, and then we maybe lost the game because of that. I can understand the inconsistency would be frustrating. However, there's clearly was a case of guy being offsides.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you
Dude was in the end zone.
Line up.
Yeah, he was lined up in the end zone. I mean, what you mean? He was definitely offsides. And Pat Mahomes needs to stop all that. If I had an opportunity to holler at Pat Mahomes, man, let's not even talk about now. Let me dive into my feelings. Let's not even talk about the fact that your cats were holding Nick Bosa and so many times. Right? Yeah, in the Super Bowl. Man, you pipe down, be quiet, shut your trap. Straight up, man. You took the L. Take the L like a man, like he is now, instead of coming back crying, crying like he was post that. I mean, dude threw a hissy fit.
49er fan.
Did he?
Yeah, he went nuts.
Did he not, though?
He did.
Man, listen, if I'm a reporter.
He said he was embarrassed by how. And
he should have been.
Yeah.
He should have been.
Yeah.
If I was a reporter in that room, the very first, they would have kicked me out, Whitey. Because I'd have said, man, shut up and stop crying. And then ask the question, and they would have revoked my credential. But that's cool. Somebody should have said it.
Yeah. Early this year, we were watching a game. I was watching highlights. I think it was when the Broncos, they had a chance to force overtime, and they needed a 2-point conversion, and someone got, like, the defensive back took a chainsaw to the receiver's head, and they said, no call. And my wife said, oh, is it like basketball where they don't call things at the end? And I said, no, it's football. They don't do that. But this year, that's what they've done. At the end of the game, it's like, nope, nothing to see here.
Yeah. Well, which is cool. I'd rather them play than to be decided. And I think that's what Pat Mahomes is saying. That's what Troy is saying. But at the same time, there are certain things that's blatant that never get called. Of course, everybody can call holding every single time. I get that. But there's some time when, like you said, he took a chainsaw. Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
But
a blatant PI.
Come
on, I know
now.
what you're saying. It's like, yeah, we want to think that the players decided at the end, not the officials. But, I mean, the rules still matter at the end of a game as much as they do earlier in the game. And when you have a guy getting tackled, he's trying to make a catch at the end of the game, it's like, oh, sorry.
Right.
Have to play on.
Man, when I tell you.
It's the inconsistency.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's the inconsistency. Going back to our Harrison Barnes conversation, Kevin Irvin conversation. Being consistent is key. If we can pencil you in for something that we pretty much know 98% of the time is going to happen, most people are okay with that. It's when you break pattern and we don't know what we're getting from you is when it becomes a problem. Pat Mahomes did cry, though. I want to make sure for every Patrick Mahomes fan, shouts out to my boy Chris Verlade, who's on the morning show, who's a huge Pat Mahomes fan.
Right.
Has been one
here.
prior to,
too,
Kyle too. You know, Kyle, I mean, prior to even Pat Mahomes winning the Super Bowl and all that type of stuff. I mean, dude threw a tantrum. He looked like a 3-year-old on the floor at Target that need to be grasped, just picked up fast.
I agree. That's a good call. Carlo Jimenez is radio play-by-play voice of the Clippers, and he's like 12 years old or something. Is that right? Young guy.
He might not be able to drink. You're right.
Yeah, he's a young guy, and he is tearing it up, and he's the voice of the Clippers, and he joins us next as we get ready for the Kings and the Clippers right here on Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have, some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The year might be coming to a close, but Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
A couple of weeks ago, I had the honor to enjoy a conversation with PGA Tour player and U.S. Open winner Jim Furyk, who's also the first to shoot 58 in a PGA Tour event. We talked about junior golf, his experiences on tour, and plans for the future. He also revealed his commitment to a new golf shoe manufactured by Box Toe Golf. I took notice because when a person makes his living playing golf, he looks for advantages in preparation, equipment, and certainly his shoes, which are the only contact with the ground. Box Toe is a premium brand specializing in handcrafted leather golf shoes designed for players who demand quality, style, and performance. With full-grain leather upper and soft leather linings, the shoes offer unmatched comfort. They're a perfect blend of classic style and modern design. If Box Toe Legacy golf shoes and belts are good enough for Jim Furyk, they're good enough for me. Learn more at boxtoegolf.com. That's your golf to go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Well, hello there. It's Santa Claus, and I'm checking my list to see who's been naughty or nice.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Santa. About that list, I've been a little bit naughty this year.
Oh, my. Naughty boys get a lump of coal in their stocking, you know.
Yeah, lump of coal. But guess what, Santa? Elk Grove Kia came to the rescue.
Elk Grove Kia? What do they have to do with your naughty deeds?
Well, Santa, they gave me a great deal on a new Kia, the highest-rated mass-market vehicle in J.D. Power's U.S. dependability study.
What?
No lump of coal for me this year, old man.
A Kia, you say?
Yeah,
Well, what about your challenged credit?
Well, Santa, unlike you, Elk Grove Kia doesn't judge guys like me. They looked beyond my troubled past and still sold me a fine new Kia. Look.
Well, I never...
Sorry, Santa, but Elk Grove Kia has your sled beat this year. So while you're busy with the lumps of coal, I'll be cruising in style in my new Kia.
Okay, I suppose Elk Grove Kia is on the nice list this year.
Naughty or nice, Elk Grove Kia believes everyone deserves a second chance. Elk Grove Kia, spreading joy, one car at a time. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovekia.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Some might call me obsessed, but if you shop for holiday gifts at Kohl's, you get it. With their Friends and Family sale, I got 25% off already great deals, like 40% off comfy Ted Gear activewear. Then I saved 30% on Lego building sets, 30% on Cozy Kookaburra by UGG bedding, and earned Kohl's cash. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why I love Kohl's, and why you'll love it too. Select styles, Lego and Kookaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 17th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports.
Drive guys, Whitey Gleason, no Kyle Draper today. Drape's a little under the weather. We got Jay, not only running the show, but keeping us on track. And High Flyer popping in as well, the great Henry Turner. Big win for the Kings last night, Flyer.
A huge one.
Yeah.
Needed that. You know,
feel good win.
Number one. Number two, you know, a lot of people keep forgetting Mike Brown wants to be dominant in G1.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to start winning some more games here. And the good thing about it is we got 7 more here in a row. We got 7 in a row right here in G1 after this one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to get a chance to make it happen.
As for tonight, the Kings taking on the Clippers. 4 straight for the Clippers. Nice enough to join us with more on them. Their outstanding radio play-by-play voice, Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, thanks for your time today. Things looking up for the Clips. What has this club figured out all of a sudden?
Yeah, they moved around a couple of starters, and since then they've won 9 of their last 12. So things are going well for the Clippers right now. I think they found who they are. I think Ty Lue's figured out how to run these rotations. They started with James Harden playing a lot of the first quarter. Now he's coming out early, playing most of the second. So I think they're starting to figure out how to play with each other. And, man, longest winning streak of the year, so we'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Have the Clippers gotten over that, the 176-175 loss last year to the Kings?
You know, I don't think so. And I was doing a little history looking today. The highest scoring game in the NBA happened yesterday. Is the anniversary, or tomorrow is the anniversary. So I don't know if that's a little deja vu. I don't know, what you believe in, but we'll keep an eye out for that for sure.
What was that? The Nuggets and the Pistons game we're talking about?
Yep. Yeah. That was on December 12th.
Right. All right. Carlo Jimenez with us, play-by-play voice of the Clips. How's Russ fitting in? Is he comfy with what appears to be a somewhat reduced role?
Yeah, I think he's like he does every night. He brings all the energy he can off the bench. He's thriving in that role. He's got 6 blocks over his last 4 games. He had 5 in the previous 14. So he continues to try to affect the game defensively, I think, more than on the offensive end. And he's hit a 3 in the last couple of games. So continues to just bring that juice off the bench. I think he likes running with that second group. One thing that they've changed a lot is you probably won't see James and Russ on the court at the same time, which I think is a big reason why we've been able to win 4 games in a row. Is the Clippers are finally getting one. They only have one guy who's ball dominant on the floor at once, and that's really working.
Carlo, got a question for you from the former King high flyer Henry Turner.
Want to ask you this? It's really been a task to integrate 4 first-round ballot Hall of Famers on that basketball team. A lot of people thought that it was going to be seamless. But can you talk about how James Harden is really trying to fit in? Because we know Kawhi and PG are just who they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's been interesting because James was averaging not even 15 points the first 10 games of the Clippers. Really wasn't shooting the ball that much. And then 4 of his last 6, he's got 20 as the Clippers. So he's starting to find his way offensively, but he was deferring a lot to begin his tenure with the Clippers. And Ty Lue would come out in post-game pressers and be like, we got to be more selfish. We got to shoot the ball. Guys got to do what they do. And I think James took that heart to message and started to show everybody, hey, I'm still James Harden, and he's been hooping as of late. But on the offensive end, you're right. It was tough because guys were just not stepping on each other's toes. People were passing up open looks, and there wasn't a whole lot of rhythm to the offense to start. That's changed as of late.
Carlo Jimenez, the voice of the Clippers, with us. Is Kawhi healthy? I mean, he certainly appears to be so.
Yeah, no, Kawhi looks 100%. He talked about it a couple of weeks ago that after games, his knee used to bother him, but now that's not a problem anymore. He's played every game this season. He's played every back-to-back this season. I mean, he looks like 2016 Kawhi Leonard, the last time he's played 22 games in a row to start a year. So it's been fun to watch, definitely.
I'd have to ask you, when you look at it on paper, defensively, the Clippers are supposed to be a juggernaut. They got a legitimate big man down in the middle with Zubats. You got two of the best two-way players in PPG and Kawhi. And then Russell Westbrook is one of the most explosive guards that we've ever seen in this game. How is the Clippers not just straight locking teams down?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes to just defensive intensity and focus for this Clippers team, because when they want to, they can lock up teams. They held the Dallas team that was averaging nearly 115 points earlier this year to just 88 on the night. So I think this is a Clippers team that has all the ability to lock in. The question is, do they have that defensive focus? And we saw that kind of relaxed last game against Portland, a Blazers team that was the last in the NBA in points per game, came in and put up 127 last night. So see if the Clippers can focus a little better on the defense end. They're going to have to against the Kings.
Carlo Jimenez, voice of the Clippers, with us. And Carlo, I kind of see your team this year as kind of a really dangerous team lurking in the brush, because we know the pedigree of the players, but you got hard now, some things to figure out, but obviously a team that come playoff time could be very, very deadly. What's your view of the West at this point? Obviously, it's early in the season, but it looks like it's going to be tightly compacted and competitive again. What's your view of the West and where the Clippers fit into all that?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be so packed. I mean, you could see a Western Conference team with a 1 seed win 58 games and the team who's the 8 seed win 52 games. Yeah. That's almost what it feels like right now. But I think the Clippers are in a good spot. They're going to have to make up because they lost 6 in a row earlier this year. And so you're going to have to figure out where down the stretch can you kind of make up games that you probably should have won on the road. But I think right now they're finding themselves. Ty Lue has played everybody so many minutes. I think PG and Kawhi were both above 39 last night. And he said, we just got to win games. And I think part of the mentality for this Clippers teams right now is trying to make up games, get back up in the seeding. I think they sit 8th. But I think come playoff time, this is going to be a matchup nightmare for anybody, because there's just not enough defense out there to stop a Clippers team when you have guys like Harden who's going off, and then PG, and then Kawhi. They've scored 20 points together only 3 times this year. As you can guess, they've won all those games. I think it's going to be hard to stop that trio. And then you bring Russell Westbrook off the bench, not to mention Norman Powell shooting over 50% from 3 as of late. This is a team with a whole lot of offensive firepower. And they have their backup big man coming back in Mason Plumlee in a couple weeks. So it'll be fun to watch.
You know what? With that being said, when you look at this Clipper team, and I mean, the way I see it is, this is a win now team. I don't see the Clippers being satisfied with just making the playoffs or just going to the second round. This is a championship or bust squad. Is that the is that the kind of sentiment that is going around the organization and also inside the locker room?
Yeah, I don't think they put that label on it or that pressure on it, but I think you're right. It feels that way, right? You make the move for James Harden. You come out with a lesser bench, but so much higher firepower on the offensive end. They've made trades all throughout the last couple of years with PG and Kawhi to try to stack it up. And it feels like this is the year where they got to get it done. And hopefully, knock on wood, stay healthy, because at the end of the day, that's been a big reason why they haven't been able to find success late, is they just haven't had guys healthy. But PG and Kawhi have played so much together, every game together this season. And it feels like with all these cards starting to align right now for the Clippers, this is their chance to get it done in what the Clipper fans call the 2-1-3 era for PG and Kawhi Leonard.
Carlo, before we let you go, we appreciate your time very much, but I'm wondering if you could share with us your views of the Kings and ways in which the Kings really cause some matchup issues for your team? I know you guys beat them the last time, but what about the Kings concerns the Clippers the most?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the three-point shooting, right?
Yeah.
How many threes did you have last night? A franchise record. Clippers gave up a ton of threes to Portland last night. So three-point defense has got to change for this Clippers team. It was top 6 in the NBA going into that game against the Trailblazers, but the Blazers lit them up. Clippers are going to have to get a handout. And then we'll see if Domantas Sabonis has another off night. Kind of scares me that he only had 3 made field goals. 2 of them were threes last time the Clippers played the Kings. We'll see if the Clippers try to stop Sabonis. I don't know. I'm interested, guys, to see how one-dimensional the Clippers try to make the Kings. Felt like they let De'Aaron Fox get his, and it would stop everybody else. And that worked last time. I don't know if it's going to work again tonight.
Carlo Jimenez, the outstanding play-by-play voice of the LA Clippers. Thanks. We appreciate it. Have a great call. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Henry Turner, the Kings and the Clippers tonight. Kings a little revenge on their minds, perhaps. The Kings, that was quite a feel-good game last night, though. Bombs away.
You know what? I will say this. I was so happy to see the ball go in for Keegan Murray. You know, this young man has really struggled this year offensively. You know, he's taken a step forward on the defensive side, and he's been trying to do everything that Mike Brown has asked him to do defensively. But the shots just weren't falling. So, you know, to see him, you know, watch that three-pointer go in and have a little smile on his face, because you know the kid has absolutely no expressions. But to see him have a little bit of smile on his face, to get to the basket, dunk a basketball, to start having some productivity out there on the floor, I was so happy for him.
See, I thought last night, and you look at the final box score, and things evened up a little bit because Bridges is an excellent player. He had a strong fourth quarter. But I thought for most of that game last night, Bridges is an excellent player. I thought Keegan Murray flat out outplayed him for most of that game.
Keegan Murray played well. I won't say he outplayed him because at one particular point, nobody for Brooklyn was scoring but Bridges, yeah. Markelle basically put them on his back. And, you know, and as well, at the Sacramento Kings shot the basketball last night, I never had the sentiment of they're going to bust this game open, they're going to win by 20. And I never felt like, I don't feel warm and fuzzy about this, because the Kings were shooting the ball lights out and Brooklyn was still there. They would never go away. So, you know, it was a situation of, okay, are the Kings still going to be able to keep this three-point barrage going? And they did, and was able to win the game. But Brooklyn never left, man. I mean, they was all the way, they were there to the end.
I'll tell you the 3 best things about the Kings' big win when we come right back. We got the high flyer. We got Jay in for Drapes today, and me, Whitey Gleason, and you on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
Five Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I know. You look at the standings right now, and the Kings, couple of, as we know, a couple of real nice feel-good wins in a row, and they're sitting pretty right now. in the NBA Western Conference. But high flyer with us, Whitey Gleason, Henry Turner, and Jay Johnson. The Clippers make me nervous. They just have so much talent there, night to night. Who knows? But that team makes me nervous.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about the big four, right? You always go straight to them. I'm going to tell you what. Zubats is no slouch.
You're right.
Zubats is no slouch. We look at that team and we look at him as chopped liver.
Yeah.
This dude is a legitimate big man. He's strong. He holds down the middle. He blocks shots. And he has a low post game. You can run your offense through him if need be when you need a bucket.
Mm-hmm. And then as the play-by-play guy, Carlo Jimenez mentioned, is like we're talking about him and the big four, and then like Norman Powell's like, oh yeah, I mean he's really good. I forgot about Norman Powell.
Right, Norman Powell comes off the bench, and then the other little kid that man, I keep his name is slipping me now. The little guard with the braids.
Bones
Highland.
Hurt right now, I think.
Yeah, he's not
okay.
playing.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah,
right.
but he's another guy that plays well out there on the floor.
Yeah,
their roster is very, very deep.
Mm-hmm.
So we just go to that main four, but they got some guys that can play, some guys who know how to play. The thing about it is that can all those guys put their egos aside and then come together as the betterment of the team?
So far, it looks like they are.
Yes.
I didn't think there was any way. I gave up on James Harden. I have nothing against him, but I'd never want him on my team.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't want him on my team either. I didn't, but the only way I bought into the James Harden factor is when he was with Houston. He had one other guy. Aaron had Gordon with him on the other side, and he had Capella down low. That gave him two options to pass the ball, but it was everything Harden.
Mm-hmm.
All Harden.
PJ Tucker did all the dirty work.
But he hardly ever passed the ball to PJ.
Right.
PJ might have been the last option to give the ball to in the corner, right? But at the end of the day, it was all Harden. And just like Westbrook, he got his numbers. He looked great, but the team just couldn't do it.
Right.
And that's the exact same thing that you get with Russ. Russ has the ball in his hands. He looks great. The OKC looks, giving us Herculean numbers. I mean, he getting triple doubles, but the team isn't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have guys like that, they're good for themselves, but they're not really the best when you ask them to play in a team structure.
How good is Kawhi? Let's just say he's healthy.
Ooh,
Kawhi. I mean, he's
Kawhi top 5.
I was gonna say top 10. Is he still top 10?
No. He said if he's healthy and everything's going together,
yeah, he's top 5.
He has to be top 5, JJ, because.
You just mean of the players now, or
no?
Yeah.
I'm saying
in the league, right?
He has to be top 5 because no one can stop him one-on-one. No one. And then he's a lockdown defender.
Yeah.
Anybody that plays both sides of the ball for me like that's really feared when you guard him, and then all of a sudden he's respected when he's guarding you. I mean, he got to be top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be.
Is he still a lockdown defender in your eyes though?
I think he can be if he
still
wants.
Can be, yeah.
The thing about it with me is that it's all with the attitude with Kawhi. Same thing with LeBron.
Yeah.
Same thing with LeBron. I told you when we worked on the show, I said, LeBron wants this in-trophy tournament, and you saw it.
He did.
Every game they played that was in-season tournament, LeBron showed up.
Uh-huh.
You're right. And the closer they got, the more in tune LeBron James got.
Uh-huh.
So, a lot of these guys, it's all about how much they want it. How many times have we seen Lakers play in the third quarter, LeBron shut it down? He's like, man, we ain't going to win. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down.
Yeah.
It's all about how much he stay in tune.
Don't you think some of that was because they don't know come April where they're going to be? I mean, if they're healthy, they have a shot.
Lakers?
They don't know Lakers. But right now, it's like, hey, here's something we can win right now.
No. LeBron was like, this is what I want right now. I mean, think about it, man. The dude is still the face of the league. He's still the guy. He's still him. Even at, I don't care if he's 40, even though he isn't. But if the dude is 40, for what he's able to do out on the basketball floor.
I know, no question.
Nobody can still stay in front of him. I mean, I watched Zion. Zion bounced Trey Lyles off of him like a net, right? And I was impressed. I was like, ooh, because Trey is a big boy. Zion couldn't do nothing with LeBron. He tried. He tried to go up and go through him. LeBron stood his ground. He definitely couldn't go over the top of him. LeBron right there. And I'm like, this dude, is Father Time looking over him, or what's happening? I mean, I know he's the king and he's the chosen one, but he's going to have to age at some point. But his basketball IQ is so high, Whitey.
Kid next year.
His basketball IQ is so high that he's still able to play at a very high level, because he's not the Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron James. He's not the Miami Heat LeBron James. You don't see him flying through the air on every possession like you once did. You know, he'll lay it up, he'll flip it up. He gets the ball, he'll get in the post. He looks and probes. Before, LeBron was reckless abandonment. You give him the ball, he's going to just go through everybody and score.
You know, as great as he is and all the things he's accomplished, one thing that I don't think we talk about enough is how you look back when he started, how much better he is as a shooter, how much he's improved as a shooter.
Well,
he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Yeah, he leans on it now. I think that's the age part of it too.
Jay, he's shooting the ball better, but let's keep it 100. He still ain't a shooter.
No.
He's
Definitely
a scorer.
not. Yes.
He's still a shooter.
That's a great point.
LeBron has two moves he go to. He gets in the post, he'll probe and look. He's going to hit you with his shoulder to create a little step, and he's going to lean back on that left foot and shoot a fade.
Yeah.
Okay? He's going to get the ball, jab step you a couple of times, take one dribble forward and step back and shoot a three. That's LeBron James' game.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that, because and I go to the metaphor of boxing again. You know, you can be a puncher or a brawler,
right?
Or a knockout artist or a puncher. You know, like LeBron is not a shooter, but he's definitely a scorer.
Right.
He'll mix it up with you. He'll get it in. He'll get hot, and it's a problem. You know, the one thing, and let me ask you this, HT and Whitey, the IST, which I've been out on personally. I've said this 100 times. It's not for me. I don't care who won it. I do believe if the Kings would have won it, this place would have threw a parade. But for me, I could care less. Do you think, and this is I think this is even with the Clipper situation and definitely the Lakers situation, and this is why I say they have to change it, is because it helped them in the fact that these games were separated. I think if you put the Lakers in a 4-game series and you got to play within a week and a half, they're in trouble because of LeBron and because of AD and because of certain things that comes with age when it comes to LeBron. I just don't think he can recover quick enough anymore when it comes to a series.
Right.
See, the in-season tournament, I think helped them out because it was spread out over a month almost.
Right.
You know, and so I believe that's why he pressed the envelope to the point where, like, I'm going to go get this because it's the first one.
But, Jay, you were still playing regular season games, though.
Agreed.
I mean, it's not like it was stretched out big time. You still playing your regular season.
Hold on real quick, HT. I don't mean to cut you off. I said, and you can speak on it too, and that's why I want to put this in before then, is just what you said. You might not, meaning you personally take time off or take games off, but we know all pros do.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they're going to take a huff and a puff. And you said, I'm going to shut it down third quarter. We don't have a shot.
Oh, bro, I believe me. I didn't shut down quarters. I didn't say I didn't.
I know, but I'd rather you speak on it before I say you did it. So my point behind that is with regular season games, I think and they've lost in between those games, in between these IST games. I think he has shut it down in certain instances where in the playoffs, and you know this, you can't shut it down.
True. But let me tell you this. That's not what the league was intending to do.
Agreed.
The league did exactly what they were intending to do, and they achieved that.
What, like the Lakers win?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was in the script.
No. That might have been in the script.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say, but at the end of the day, the league got meaningful play early on in these first 2 months of the league. Because how many times, and you've been around forever, just like I have, how many times you heard guys say, well, the NBA really don't start until the All-Star break?
Christmas.
Christmas.
For sure.
Yeah.
After All-Star break, guys really don't play hard.
Yeah.
You know,
it doesn't help when Jimmy Butler says that.
No, but I'm saying you go through the motions until All-Star break. After All-Star break, everybody ramps up. And it's true. That's how the league has been. I mean, I've been guilty of saying it. You know what, man? Hey, Golden State can struggle, but I tell you what, after All-Star break, you're going to see all these teams lock in. That's usually how it works. So the league was getting hit with that criticism. So how are we going to get these guys to play hard from the beginning? Oh, let's throw a little something out there for them. Let's have an in-season tournament.
Right.
Do you think now that it's over and we are December, and you might got a month to, as some people say, the NBA season does start to Christmas, and then as you say, they don't turn it on to the All-Star break. Do you think for the next couple of months they slow down now? Meaning the players.
Good question.
No, because you know why? Like I said, the league was slick. That's why the in-season tournament, those games went towards your regular season. So think about it. Think about if the in-season tournament, those games didn't go towards your season. Oh, yeah, guys would definitely shut it back down because you're like, oh, well, we still got time to come back. But those games go against your season rivalry. Like the games we played against New Orleans, it's like, whoa, we down 0-3.
But this is
those games counted.
This isn't exactly what Jay's saying. But don't you think in the game against the Lakers, New Orleans, I don't know if you want to say shut it down or over Vegas. I mean, they didn't show up for that game.
New Orleans just got mollywopped. They got stoned. They got stoned by.
They didn't get Vegas?
No, they got stoned by an LA team that was like, we're taking this. We're too. See, that's the thing that LeBron James can really turn on and turn off. You know what? I want this one. I'm taking it. I don't care who you are. Think about it. From the very first tip, I watched that game.
Well, yeah, when the ball.
Lakers got the tip.
The officials.
Lakers got the tip. LeBron James goes full coast straight to the basket. Nobody touched him, and nobody did anything around the rim. He was like, "Oh, I'm taking this.
When LeBron
it's too
calls
easy."
Timeout when Devin Booker has the ball, and the officials say, "Oh, Lakers had it. That's a timeout."
Hey, you know what? Now that's something totally different.
Different ball game there.
I mean, he just went all. Hey. We in California. He done went all around the world and came back with that one. You know, hey, I thought that was a little shady too. I was like, oh, yeah, y'all gonna let him call timeout like that?
You see LeBron calling time, and Devin Booker's got the ball. Like, nope.
Hey, but Whitey, think about it. Basketball IQ wise, how smart was that? Because LeBron knew he was in trouble.
Well, I know it was smart.
He knew he was in trouble, and that ball when LeBron was calling.
But you don't get the time. Hey, well, he didn't have the ball, but that was smart, LeBron. So we'll give you the timeout.
Keep it 100. LeBron wasn't even looking at the ball. The ball was rolling out of the ground. It was rolling out of bounds, and he was screaming timeout. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." I mean, you know what? I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I'm like, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. That's the league's great for the league. When we come back, we got the high flyer, and he's going to weigh in here. I'm hoping he'll weigh in on all the criticism of Zion Williamson. What would Henry Turner's advice be for Zion? That's next year as the Drive Guys roll on. Get ready for Kings basketball. Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. Another chilly night with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be a mostly sunny day with light winds. Look for highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
If the lights in your home flicker whenever you plug in the toaster or the breaker flips when you use the microwave, let us fix that. Bonnie's offering a free electrical panel inspection so you'll know exactly what's going on. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital equals $13.89 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Buddy Gleason, Jay Johnson, Henry Turner. Do you have any legal experience? You ever studied law or anything?
I was a criminal justice major, but
were you?
But if that don't count, we
I didn't know that.
Else.
That's why I asked. What was your major, AC?
Criminal justice.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Boy, I see where you was coming with it.
I'm from the town, man.
Yeah, that's what I say. I see where you was coming.
I got a whole lot of buddies.
I know you.
Have you heard about Jaw's case, the lawsuit? He testified yesterday. I want to tell you, I know we weren't there, but share with you his lawsuit, his testimony, and tell me if you think he has a chance. Apparently in, this is Tennessee, right? Tennessee, he's being sued. It's not a criminal issue. I believe it's civil. Yeah. So if it can be proven that he acted in self-defense, you're off the hook. Right? Tennessee law says, okay, if you're self-defense, you're good. So his attorneys have to prove that it was self-defense. So he was testifying. So Jaw was testifying yesterday. So the attorney for the plaintiff, the kid that got punched, says, you testified that this basketball was a weapon. Yes, because Jaw got hit in the face with the ball. And Jaw says, yes. The attorney says, a lethal weapon? And he says, it hurt. So, and then the attorney says, asked him what happened. And Jaw says, he asked the guy, what are you on? And then he says, the guy pulled up his shorts. Quote, this is Jaw in court. Him pulling up his shorts, where I'm from, that's a fighting stance. So Jaw says Holloway took a step toward him, and then he stepped forward and punched him. And Jaw says, I hit him first to protect myself, end quote. Look, I don't care what happens, but I look at that and I think, oh, that's going to be a tough one to prove, Jaw, that's self-defense.
In hood court, let's put it this way. In hood court, I understand where Jaw's coming from.
I do too.
Because I'm the exact same way. If we having a beef and you get into a fighting stance, you roll up your sleeves.
Or clutch them jeans.
Or you take off your shirt. Believe me, before you get that other arm out, it's on.
Put your bag down real quick.
That's just the way we do.
Well, then maybe he's got a case.
No, I said that's hood court.
I know, but if you understand it.
In regular court, whoever hits first is the aggressor. If that dude did not physically swing on you, miss, or connect and hit you, how can you say it's self-defense?
Well, I agree. That's why I wanted to see what you guys thought, because I look at that, it's like, I don't see how Jaw wins that one.
Yeah, Jaw gonna have to go in the pocket.
Yeah, that's called a settlement.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the pocket.
And then that's something that the league, depending on the outcome of this, that's something that the commissioner has to take into account again.
But don't get me wrong. I understand exactly where Jaw is coming from, because if we're in a situation, we're out mall or wherever, and I'm having an altercation with a guy, and we're going back and forth, and he take off his jacket or he roll up his sleeve, no, you're not going to get a chance.
That's right. Yeah, the other part of this, not the other part, but one of the parts for me though is you have to be a little more smarter in the fact of this. And I know we're not always like HT saying where we come from. A lot of times we don't have that. It has to be instructed. It has to be taught. Sometimes it doesn't come natural to certain people. Some don't. You don't. The family, the community, whatever. Somebody didn't lace your tennis shoes and give you the game properly. But Morant, who rolls around with his pops. His little sister is big time in college, in high school basketball around the area of Memphis. He's got a crew that we already know of. We've seen the crew being partially be blamed for certain things, the Beam in Indiana, that type of stuff.
Right.
Sooner or later, and I was one of these cats growing up, I always used to look at like celebrities, rappers, things like that. Man, why in the heck do you have security? Where I come from, I don't need security. But as I got older, as I got more wiser, as more things started to, I started to be compensated a little better and nowhere near on Ja Morant's level. There's a difference, man. And this is the thing about Ja for me is you already got cats rocking with you. You already have people who are around you anyway all the time. Why are you even in that situation?
Man, let me tell you this, Jay.
The guy who Ja hired, by the way, he then, after Ja punched the guy, he punched the guy.
Yes. Where was that cat before?
Hey, Jay, let me tell you this. Now, I roll with a guy who rolled with a whole crew. GP had a whole crew.
I can dig it.
Gary had a whole crew of cats. And it was many of times when Gary was bumping his gums and talking that we've been in a situation to where Gary told the fellas, hey, I'm letting y'all know right now, if this dude get near me, y'all not eating tonight.
Come on. You said it this last week, though, HT. Did you not say, of course, in certain ways, and we're talking about before you guys had the fame, before you guys were professional.
I was one of Gary's protectors.
There it was.
Sure.
You said that.
Yeah.
And so that's my point of it is sooner or later, we all have to become a little more smart, intelligent, right? And understand if Ja has considered me family, I'm family. I'm part of this circle.
You don't let nobody get close.
There it was.
To him.
Just like LeBron.
John needs to take advantage of the services that were being provided.
Yes. Because you know what? I can guarantee you, Ja is taking care of a whole lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you don't let nobody come and steal the golden goose, bro.
No.
You let nobody get in this circle. I mean, I tell you what, try to walk up on Dame Lillard, see what happens.
Exactly.
I mean, Dame ain't gonna move.
Yeah.
He not gonna flinch. But I tell you what, it's gonna be about 4 or 5 around, and it's gonna be a bad night for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is.
That's right.
You can't, sugarcoat it. You can't say it shouldn't happen. All NBA boys got a crew. And you got 1 or 2 boys on your crew that they let nobody get close to you.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe if I understand Jay, and I agree, is like Ja's crew is not really providing.
That's who need to be called out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ja shouldn't be put in this position.
Yes.
I tell you who really needed to be called out. The number 1 dude that need to be called out is his daddy.
His father.
It's his daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? I love my son. I love my son dearly, and I'm pretty sure he loves his too. But I'll tell you what, my son totally understands I'm not your best friend. I'm your daddy. And we roll a little different. If I'm rolling with you, oh yeah, I'm rolling different, and our whole crew is rolling different because our whole crew gonna know, fellas, if my dad says, my dad says. That's it. I don't care who paying who got the money. If my daddy say left, it's left.
There's another former King who said almost exactly the words you said. I heard him on Sirius. He said, "You're either a guy's father or his friend." Yeah. It was Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson.
Absolutely.
Exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, me and my son, we can talk about anything. At the end of the day, we can talk about friendship stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm your dad.
Still your father.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm your dad. And we gonna roll. If I'm with you, now some stuff might happen if I'm not in the car, or if I'm not at the event, some stuff can go down, right? But if I'm with you, and we still have our crew around, basically you don't run this crew, I do. because y'all gonna do what I say do, and basically that's my son. You're gonna do what I say do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who making the money, because if you have that type of respect from your son, and you tell your son, look, I'm gonna hold you to a higher accountability,
Standard,
because this is where you have to be. Everybody gets in line. Because I can tell you right now, when we went out and something jumped off, and Al Payton walked through the door, oh, it's over with. It's over with. Gary ain't got nothing to say.
Do you think there's any way? I know it's hard because you're not there. You're not with these guys. Do you think there's a way for Ja, his family, his crew to figure this out and get him on a path where he's going to be able to avoid making these mistakes and getting in these situations over and over and over?
Well, Ja ain't got no reals with him. If your friends don't stop you from self-destructing and they sit there and watch you self-destruct, they not your friends. They not your friends. If I see you doing something detrimental to you, I'm going to tell you, Whitey, no, bro, that ain't it. That ain't it. I don't care how much you paying me. I'm going to still tell you that ain't it. And if you tell me, well, Henry, if you're not going to yes man me, you got to go. I'm sorry, bro, I got to go, but that ain't it. And I'm going to walk out the door with my integrity just like that. If you don't have friends like that, dude, it's a wrap.
Problem.
Why are you there? Why are you there? Because you walking, you're going to sit there and watch the money walk out the door? Have you lost your mind? No way I would go for that if I was Ja's friend. And especially if you're Ja's dad. Bro, LeBron James is the face of the NBA, and they were really trying to groom you to take over that. Ja Morant's face was on everything. You got the explosive game. You got the little swag. You got all this going for you. The league got to look at these new young all-stars that's coming up. You're the first one on the ballot before all this other stuff happened. You're the first number one guy, and your team was balling. Your team was in second while you was doing all this old crazy stuff, and you're going to throw all of that away? Boy, I tell you, I'd be on my son's helmet every day, all day.
We'll be right back, wrap things up, and get you ready for the Kings and the Clippers next right here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear through the night tonight. Another chilly night with overnight lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be a mostly sunny day with light winds. Look for highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Heading down the home stretch here, getting ready for game night with the High Flyer and Scott Marsh. It's Whitey Gleason, Henry Turner, and Jay Johnson. Hopefully Kyle Draper's back tomorrow. Wasn't feeling great yesterday.
Got that bird flu.
Well, that's what yeah.
It
You think it's
that
he's
bird
really
flu
sick, or just
all
is
of
he
a sudden.
tired of hearing people talking about the 49ers?
All right.
What they did to the Eagles.
You know, the great part about it is I have his number. I know where he stays. So I know the bird flu might be a little severe. So I'm going to go drop a little bit of that soup off for him, maybe a little tomato basil with a
Hey, he'll be right back.
with a grilled cheese or something, drop him some Pedialyte so he can get his electrolytes up.
Hey,
he got that bird flu all of a sudden.
Hey, I got something a little bit better than that. I got a little bit of his money in my pocket.
Okay.
So that's all I'm talking about. He can have the bird flu, the swine flu. You
got that in-season tournament money.
Yeah. I got his money in my pocket. That's all I'm talking about.
Speaking of money, Henry, we were talking earlier about this whole Ohtani thing. And if you wanted to buy tickets to see Ohtani opening day at Dodger Stadium, we can get you in standing room only for here's one on StubHub, $889. Would you be willing to do that?
You know what?
Standing room only opening day, Ohtani?
You know what? Let's put it this way. I'm glad for the kid. I'm glad he got every last single dollar because I understand the mechanics of all of this. Think about it. If the Dodgers can afford to pay him that type of money,
agreed.
What type of money you think the Dodgers are
No,
making?
I agree with you 100%.
Because nobody is in this game to lose money.
Right.
All right. But on the fan side of it, I think it's atrocious for the Dodgers to ask a fan, a kid, to pay $800.
Well, that's secondary market. So,
But I'm saying,
yeah.
because I think the kids are the future. To ask a kid,
I believe the children are our future.
we went there, didn't he? Okay, I'm gonna let that one slide. To ask a kid to come up off of $800+ to come to a baseball game, that's nuts. How much is the beer?
I told you it's gonna be everything went up.
Hey, high quality sake.
Yeah.
But Jay had a good question. That's a long way around it. I want to ask you: is there anybody? I went another way. I went like living or dead. But anybody playing now that you would pay that much to see? Yeah.
See, that's tough. No. I mean, because
how about anybody who ever played? You get to see them. They come back.
Oh, they come back.
Yeah.
You know what? I would give up $800 to go see Muhammad Ali. I really would.
Of course.
I really would. See the greatest? I get up off
standing room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Standing room. Yes, for sure. Just to be in the building to where I can see him.
Yeah.
The one guy that I really would want to see that I never actually saw. So I'm on TV, but I'd love to see Wilt Chamberlain play.
Yes. That too.
Uh-huh.
Honestly,
love it.
Bill can get my money too.
Really?
Bill Russell, yes. I mean, because I have my elite greats that I love. Wilt's in there, Bill's in there, Julius Ervin, who's still here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably be my one
tournament.
of those.
Hey, we'll definitely see him. I I would pay to go see Pistol Pete Maravich, dude.
Yeah.
Pistol Pete Maravich was a savage. He was Magic before Magic hit.
Yes, he was way ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time.
You know, right at the end of his career, he actually played a little bit with Larry Bird.
Wow. Them two together?
Yeah, just real briefly.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Them two are the best that's done it.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean,
Jay had, of course, Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson for me.
Yes. Jackie Robinson, for sure.
Now, who did you play? You played against Michael, right?
Yeah.
You're on the floor with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't
That's
nothing. So he don't care about Mike. Yeah, he talking about cool coach now.
I mean,
somebody.
Here's the deal. Guys that I played against and I had the honor. Now, I salute Mike ultimate. But for me, it would give me more pleasure to play against George Gervin.
Iceman.
The Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I grew up watching those guys and loving those guys. Me and Mike kind of came up in the same era. You know, we were doing the same things at the same time.
Right.
So
you didn't idolize him because he was your
contemporary.
No,
competition.
Yeah.
Couldn't idolize
I get
him
it. I'm with you.
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, even with all he's done, I'm like, you know what? Always was happy for him. Always like, this dude is a hell of a player. But to idolize him,
no way.
Couldn't do it.
Take him to the cup.
You know,
right? Ain't that you? Aren't you saying that to yourself?
You have to have that mentality.
I
You
said
really
that
do.
earlier.
You really have to have that mentality because if you come into the league and I'm idolizing you that bad, there's no way I can have any type of animosity and say, I want to go at this dude professionally. It's not going to work.
What about then like Magic Bird? Where did they fit on that?
I played against Magic and Bird.
I know, but they're a little older than you, weren't they? They were
Yeah, but I was
earlier than you.
But I was still on the floor with Magic and Bird. I'm talking about the guys that I would pay money for was the guys I couldn't touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because think about it, is that when you've been on the floor, after that first game, I was over the Magic Johnson thing. I was over the Larry Bird thing. You know,
one game, really?
I was over the.
Did you feel it at all?
Yeah. I mean, when I first walked in, my very first preseason game was against the Lakers in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
And when I stepped out on that floor and I'm looking at those dudes and I'm like, whoa. All right.
But do you say to yourself like, okay, these are the guys, but then you have to come to yourself and say, you know what, man, these still ball players. I still have to go at them, right?
I didn't get that way, Jay. I'm telling you, and your boy keep it 100.
Yeah.
We went up and down the floor a couple of times, man, and I'm guarding big game James.
Okay.
I'm guarding James Worthy.
Yeah, that's big time.
And believe me, I'm holding on to a shirt like, can I have this afterwards? I really want to have this afterwards.
Yeah,
you know what
respect
I'm saying?
though.
So we playing, he got the ball, got a steal. And back then, preseason was for you to get into shape. Nobody came to preseason in shape. So those guys were just like, we just playing. So game got the ball, he spun, went baseline. I went up and blocked it, right? Against the glass. Boom. He turned around and said, oh, young fella, you get off the ground a little bit, huh? And I'm like, yeah. That's when I knew. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. Yes, I can do this.
Yeah.
Now,
I've heard of that happen, like with baseball players, when they do something like, I knew then I had it. I could do it.
Because I'm going to tell you, standing next to these dudes, in your mind, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm just a little kid from East Oakland, man. I know I don't belong here. I didn't go to Georgetown. I didn't go to Kansas. I don't belong here. But we're going up and down, and he flips that thing up, and I go get it. Boom. And when I come down, and what really gave me the affirmation, he slapped me on my butt. He was like, okay, young fella, I said, you get off the ground a little bit. You know, give me a little love. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
What's up, man. That's big time, bro.
So, playing against those guys, once you go through it and you get a chance to see them, because I was the same way when I got my first start in Detroit against the championship Detroit Pistons.
The bad boys?
The bad boys.
Ooh.
And I'm guarding Isaiah Thomas.
Underrated, maybe the most underrated great player of all time.
I'm guarding my first start, and I'm guarding Isaiah Thomas, and I'm chasing this dude like
Jerry,
no tomorrow.
the coach? What's he thinking?
Yeah, Jerry's coach. Danny got hurt. Danny got hurt. I was the next one up. So I started, and I went out, and I guarded Isaiah Thomas, and like I said, for the first minute, I was in awe, but after that, I was locked in.
That's awesome. Henry, thanks so much for filling in. We got more Henry Turner coming up. Jay, great job. We appreciate it. Kyle Draper, feel better. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. Game night with Scott Marsh and Henry Turner next as we get ready for the Kings and the Clippers on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass